Namaste, welcome to Bharat Voice. Today we have convened to discuss the major problem of the Manipur violence now triggered for the past 50 days. We've seen that the Meiteis Hindus are now facing an ethnic cleansing from the land of their origin, where they've stayed for thousands of years. And the rest of the people, tribes there, are really converted to Christianity. Now, if you look at the demography of Manipur right now, Meiteis constitute nearly 53% of the population, and the rest of the 45 odd Nagas and Kukis. So, and those tribes have converted to Christianity. The Indian state policy right from independence and when Manipur was added to Indian state is very discriminatory. Hindus. Meitei Hindus occupy small 10% of the valley, which is the Imphal Valley. Percent of the area is covered by the hill area occupied with Nagas and Kukis. Now, Kukis actually been systematically over the decades infiltrating from Myanmar. And now the situation is like the violence by the Meiteis, like the High Court order directing the Manipur state government to return to the center for a scheduled status to the Meiteis. And so these Meiteis started a rally asking the state government to have the state government to sort of recommend to the center for ST status for Meiteis. Now, why is ST status important? We look at all this. Briefly, I can tell you the ST status is important because a Meitei Hindus or the rest of the Meiteis cannot buy the ST land, scheduled tribe land. That is a hill area land. But whereas the scheduled tribes or the scheduled tribes of the Kukis and us, Christian converts. First of all, I don't know why was scheduled tribe status ever given to Christian converts, because once they convert, how do they become tribals? Because this special provision for reservations, say of and SC restrictions, were introduced in the constitution only because of special status in those, because there was a period where it was said that they were oppressed and all that. To uplift the marginalized sections of the society, special reservations were provided. Now we can argue about how it helped or it didn't help and how we need to reform it. That's a different chapter in itself. But what happened was this what did government do then after independence was it refused to give ST status to Meitei Hindus and gave the status to Nagas and Kukis. Now Nagas were completely converted to Christianity, and Kukis also, right from 70s, they converted to Christianity totally. Like, in fact, the provision helped. I mean, the state helped the provision helped in conversion of Christians, tribals to Christianity, because there was a pact, Nehru-Irwin Pact, where it was said that the Hindu mutts cannot go and establish themselves in the northeast in Manipur. So that sort of gave a free, a complete field area to the Christian church to convert, literally, in the name of, protecting the original inhabitants and indigenous society. I mean, traditions and customs. But once they convert, the indigenous system completely vanishes. They vanish. Their systems of praying and everything, whole customs vanishes. So now we have with us to discuss this major problem, because there's a violence too. Métis are being literally thrown out of their own lands. The areas where Kukis are dominating, they are throwing out Métis from there. They're burning their houses. They're subjecting them to so much of terror that they're forced to move out. Now, nearly 40,000 refugees are there in camps now, and many hundreds of people even have been killed. In fact, even the BSF people have been killed by the Kuki Christian terrorists. Now, to discuss the whole problem and about the whole origin of this problem, we have with us, we have invited a social worker who is studied this, who's lived for decades in the Northeast and completely knows this Northeast very well. And we have with us even the victims, something that you wouldn't have seen in other places. The victims themselves, 3 women victims, Métis from the Métis family, Métis community. We will be speaking to them. They would be telling about the horror that they faced. So let's start the program. I will first introduce all of them, and then we'll start with Vladimir Adityanath, who is a social worker in Northeast, to give us a presentation. We have with us Nangkoi and Leima too. These 3 are young women Métis victims. They have been very brave. They are coming out and speaking. It's so difficult because once some of their relatives did speak to India Today and other mainstream channels, and after that their houses were burned and they received death threats too. So for precaution's sake, they are keeping their faces, they're not going to show their faces, and they would speak to us. They would tell us about the problems that they face and what are their demands and what is the solution for the whole problem. So let us start with Vladimir Adityanath. Vladimir, you can.
प्रणाम आप सभी को, and thank you very much, Gayatri ji, for giving me this opportunity. Now, I would like to start this problem like you have told very clearly. The 2 root causes of this crisis were made by the confused state policy during 1949 and 1960. During 1949, the Meitei community under Raja Bodh Chandra Singh, their ST status was not continued. They themselves were following ST customs, so-called Janajati customs, for a long time, even before independence, and they have a well-documented history of thousands of years where we have seen their Janajati customs mix beautifully with Sanamahism, and also we have seen their Janajati customs like Sanamahism mix beautifully with Shakta Paddhati, Shaivite Paddhati, Gaudiya Vaishnaviya Paddhati. So lots of processes we have seen. So we have seen such kind of beautiful amalgamation, and their civilization and culture had flourished for a very long time. They even have a documented history from 33 AD. So the Meiteis, when we coming to this question, the ST rights were denied to them. So, and instead they were given to the Nagas, the Kukis, others they were given. So now coming back to the next question is, during 1960, like you told, the land reform, the Manipur Land Reform Act basically made them concentrated or confined within 10% of the Manipur land. So once they were confined to within 10% of the Manipur land, this created a huge problem for them because they were not able to expand, but other people were able to encroach and buy land in their own zone. Now what we have to see is that Northeast had been a very important area of critical geopolitical importance. So in this matter, Gayatri ji, I would just request you one thing to present two demography tables. One is the Manipur demography and the one is the demography of Churachandpur. these two tables one by one after some time. So just to keep them ready, those two things. Now,
Yeah.
Northeast had always been geopolitically important. If you look at the map from the Northeast, you see it opens accesses to Tibet, nowadays China, and it provides access routes to Southeast Asia. It provides access routes to the South China Sea, or the Champa Sagar, as many would call it. So in this case, it is a very good geopolitically important location from which you can monitor both India, you can monitor China, you can monitor Southeast Asia, you can monitor today's Bangladesh, you can monitor a lot of locations. Now, this location, there was ancient plans, there was not ancient, but very old plans to make this a land where the Western politics and geopolitics can have a very strong hold there. So that is why this purpose of geopolitics having a strong hold in there is a key point here. And that is one of the major purposes for which Christianity was used as a tool. And also another purpose of using Christianity as a tool here was to disconnect the Janajati people from their ancient roots, the love for nature. A large amount of English expansion here occurred because of making plantations, because of exploiting resources, and they faced very stiff challenges while doing that from the Janajati people. So Christianity was used as a very good tool to exploit that. Now coming further, so this process, as we see today, 2023, we cannot see it through an isolated prism here. In 2023, regarding the 2023 process, a systematic thing was done right from the 1970s with foreign intervention using the church as a tool. So what they did during the 1970s was that first, during the 1970s, in the first phase, there were huge illegal immigration. Gayatri ji, can you show the 1968 document?
Yeah.
I had kept a document. Can you present that 1968 document? Yeah, I'll tell meanwhile. The illegal immigration became an epidemic problem there. And the Kuki population in Manipur increased by more than 5 times nearly. That is 500% if you see the census values from 1951 to 2011 itself. And the scary part is the worst part of illegal immigration happened after 2011 only, during the 2017 and other parts. Yes. So Gayatri ji thoda zoom kijiyega. This is a document during the 1968 which tells very clearly, during 1968, which tells very clearly that illegal immigration was a major issue, and this illegal immigration was known to the government. However, for whatever reason, the then government was unable to take decisive actions against it. Gayatri ji, if you can zoom it a little bit, then it would be maybe better. But people were unable to take decisive action against it. So this document only. So they were unable to take decisive action against it. So this was basically the issue. During the 1960s itself, the illegal immigration started. Okay, Gayatri ji, I'll move on then in that case. So this is a clear official document which shows that during the 1960s, these kind of issues were already happening. So after that, during the 1970s and other time, as the illegal immigration increased, the illegal immigrant population increased, the parallel economy started to be developed, particularly in the southern parts, Chandel, Churachandpur, in the fringe areas there. So what happened was that due to this parallel economy,
you want me to show
that's
the
done.
Map?
You can stop presenting now. No, I will show you. Okay. Yes, you can show the map, maybe the highways map, or as a map of Manipur. Yes, you can show the map once. Yes. So if you see the map here, in the southern part of Manipur, you can see these areas, Chandel, Churachandpur, Tengnopal, these hill areas of Manipur. These hill areas of Manipur, near hill areas where few select areas where Meiteis were still allowed to settle, with some surrounded by hills, some valley areas surrounded by hills, like Churachandpur, like in the border town More in Chandel. So what happens is that under such situations in Manipur, the population of illegal immigrants started to increase. And as the population of illegal immigrants started to increase, we see parallel economies flourishing, particularly from the 90s. The opium trade started from the 90s, and the opium trade had a destructive and a lethal effect upon the people of Manipur. The opium trade had actually destroyed the youth to a large extent there, and they had caused the HIV rate in Manipur until 2017 was 32 times that of the national average. So this opium trade was started from around the 1990s. So after the opium trade flourished totally, then began a very nasty game, that is land grabbing. This opium trade money and thousands of crores of foreign funding were sent through the porous Burma border, and in addition to it, even immigration happened through Mizoram border also to a large extent. So these forms of immigration of cash and the parallel economy was used to a large extent to settle illegal immigrants. Schools and educational institutes, particularly church-controlled ones, became highly discriminatory towards their native culture. Heavy benefits began to be given for conversions, and also, in addition to it, one final thing, the remedial classes were used there, particularly for the illegal immigrants who were who did not know how to speak Assamese or Meitei or Hindi, and they were allowed to integrate into the society. So this kind of process started. This was followed by alienation of religious sites, like blocking and obstructing their religious festivals, economic boycotts, regular bullying, threatening, and sidelining from profitable businesses like hardware stores in places like Churachandpur. And also one thing, there were violence against the Meiteis by the Kukis even during 2007 and 2015, particularly during the winter of 2015 ILP protests. So it is not the first time that some that non-democratic processes have been used to actually non-democratic processes like violence, arson, loot has been used to actually pressurize the government to fulfill demands which were actually going through the legal national processes. So this is the thing. So I will come to the particular protests, maybe particular this 2023 violence at some later time, but this was a very well organized racket. Every terrorist group systematically made sure, the Kuki terrorist group, that no Meitei could buy land from there. And once a Meitei lost their ancestral land, 50 to 40% higher market price, once someone buys off their ancestral land, they were not ST. So there was no way they could buy this land. Like you were telling, why ST is necessary? ST is necessary mainly because of two things: because of their identity and because of their land, and also because there is a huge reservation barrier and huge barrier in jobs and work opportunities. Although there is some factor, there should not, maybe we can debate on whether it is a level playing field or not. But in matters of identity and rights of land, these things are some of the major factors for which ST rights are demanded. And after that, if we go further into the Manipur situation, what happened was that there was this kind of economically, they were ruined systematically. Then their lands were taken away to a large extent, shrunk either by these kind of policies. So these systematic persecution and othering of the people over decades led to large amount of migrations, either total migrations or old people staying there with their young people, or the real talented or smart people moving away right to out of Manipur, right to find their career elsewhere. So this kind of thing happened. And Gayatri ji, can you show the two tables which I sent you? The population demography of Churachandpur in 2011 and the population demography of Manipur overall. So if we see the overall, this one. If we see the overall Manipur population, now in this case context, I would like to add something. 1 to 1.5% population decline of a particular community in most countries, any results in national inquiry commissions, results in serious hue and cry all over the country. Now look here, the serious decline in the percentage right from 1991 to 2011 is alarming, and now it is much, much lower than what it is shown, because the worst phase of illegal immigration happened from after 2017. So with the illegal drug trade, anyways, other people can mention what happened to their environment and other things. But this is the demographic seriousness. From 58% in 71.
Yeah, one second, Vladimir ji. It looks like now in 2011, even Hindu population has come to 41.39 and Christian population is 41.29. That means it's a 50-50 situation now. Or maybe after 2011, much less. So how come the census is showing it's 53%? I mean, what is the basis of this and this? I mean, can you please elaborate on that?
Sure. 53% they include the Meitei Muslims, or the who they call, and they also include the Meitei Christians, some of the few Meiteis who were converted, and they also include the people who claim to follow pure Sanamahism, and also a very small number of Meiteis are there who are Buddhists. So out of 53% which they were claiming in 2011, these were the total Meitei umbrella term people who were under the Meitei community. And out of them, under the total Meitei community, out of them around 80% were Hindus. So this explains it. And actually, this is why I do not really believe the majoritarian versus minoritarian that much, because if either you go majoritarian and minoritarian and tell it is Hindu versus Christian, or you tell Meitei versus Kuki or something like that. Either way. But this is the demographic situation there in overall Manipur, including Imphal Valley, where the population has shrunk at an alarming rate. And now, Gayatri ji, can you show me the table showing the Churachandpur demography in around 2011?
Where is that?
I think I'll send you. Yes, no. Wait a minute.
I think we missed it. It's not there.
Okay, no problem. So in this case, the Churachandpur also was one of the worst affected areas. By 2011, the population percentage there fell to 4.3%, which was much higher in the 70s, 80s. And this 4.3%, there were only 11,745 Hindus there in Churachandpur, according to official accounts. So this mass migration was systematically adopted, and the 2023 was a death blow given on them, trying to ethnically cleanse them from areas and then to claim them as their own areas. Now the major conflict which it is going on, I will talk later how it is going on about the foothill plains, but I would like to give my opening comment with like this, that it is a major issue, and the major issue is due to this systematic migration and discrimination and other parts which were done on the native sons of the soil in the fringe areas of Manipur. Not the fringe areas, in the southern part or in the hill area, near the hill areas surrounding, like Churachandpur, Chandel, Tengnopal, those areas, to the Meitei people. So, thank you.
Okay, that was a wonderful presentation, and I feel it's very alarming. The demography speaks for itself, and then you have the added problem of the ST scheduled tribe status being given to Kukis and Nagas, which actually catapults them to greater facilities, benefits. Like, for example, I think they occupy most of the very prized positions in bureaucracy too, and which is kind of difficult for Meiteis to compete, like, because Meiteis are not so well off as the Kukis. Now they have you said they are quite rich through the drug trade and other things that happens. They're quite rich, and they are also buying up land from Imphal Valley area. That is the the Meitei area. So I think this is a very alarming situation that Vladimir has, Adityanath has put to us. Now let us go to the victims. We'll speak to them. So I will go to Thoibiji. Namaste, Thoibiji. Can you please tell me about, I think you are from Moire area. So I think that is area that is bordering Myanmar, and so you face that complete migration, illegal migration that comes there. And I think you people face not only now a lot of violence, you also face violence in 2007. So please, or 2015, please tell me about your experiences, and then of course how you're oppressed because being you are Hindus. So please tell us about it.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Actually, ma'am, it's already in this 2023, it start with this problem, but in before 2015, it was started for that ILP, means that inner line permit. On that time, I also was the victim of that. Means I was there in my hometown, but this time I was not there, but my family is the victim for that. And this 2015 incident, what happened was that that time it was happening whole Manipur for that ILP. In that time, even in More also, we went for peace rally. But that time, that Kuki people said that we should not enter their gate. If we enter their gate, they will start the violence. And after that, but we want to just go for the peace rally only. We didn't start any violence. And after that, when we try to enter their gate, they started the violence, and after that it's already started the issue from that one. In that time also, they already burned down the More market. They came out, even student KSO, that all whole student, they came out, and after that many cookie immigrants, they came out with guns and all this. And after that, that was I was in school only. On that time, they when school was finished, that time all the students, those who are coming out from school, even they call out the student also that you should join in this violence. After that, the student also joined on that violence only. But keeping this aside, I would like to speak on that. This now going incident means that is, it happened on 3 May on More. That is on that day that Kuki people, they went for peace rally. On that time, they went for whole the whole More, they went for rally. That time even we might they didn't say anything on that, because and that was also, they didn't, there was no violence on that time. But when it came to know that this incident, that the violence started in Torbung and Sochampur, after that it started in More. And because that also evening only, that time it already started, they came out, some of the young people came out, and they start burning the tire benches, and they start throwing stone to the shop and all this. And after it already started, and from that tree started in More, and since that 3 to that 10, it was continuously started in More only. On that time, all the Maitai family, all they are staying in uh, that police station only at that night. On next day, on that 4, that is, my mom went to home only, and after that, my mom said that she will stay there, but my grandma said that no, you should not stay there, you should go to relief camp. And after that, when my mom went to relief camp, on that evening only, it already start burning my houses, and after that they start burning the Imakondong, and after that it continuously burned down whole More only. But that time also all the security forces was there. Still they continue that one. They don't have any fear of anything, that security forces are there and all this. On that thing, all the whole family for More might say they face a lot of problem when they were in relief camp also, like for food also, for after that for dresses and many things, they face the problem. And after that, they stay for 7 to 8 days, they stay in relief camp. And after that, from on that 8, from that 8, all the Maitai, those who are from Imphal, the army said that we will take out those who are from Imphal, we will take that person first to Imphal safely. On that time, when they take the Maitai people in vehicles, that time also Kuki attacked that time. On that time, they are saying that go back, Maitai, don't come back. Otherwise, we will kill you. Even firing also. That is very risky for the people only. But army also didn't do anything. Assam Rifle was there, but they have not done anything. They have not taken any issue. But they already got the power only that the government has said that you can inside order. Already they have given. Still they have not done anything. They were just quiet. They were just enjoying the views. The thing is like that only. And after that, now many of the many of Maitai, they are staying in relief camp. Still, they are facing a lot of problem, ma'am. Because staying in relief camp is not easy for people. Because I will not speak about only my family. I will speak for whole my More people only. Because if they are staying in relief camp, their house already burned down. After that, their clothes and everything also burned down. How they will stay with one cloth, two cloth in relief camp for how many days? And still government have not done anything. Still government is silent. It's already been 50 days. Still government is silent. Government has not done anything. Why they have done this? Why they are not thinking? Always time when election was there, they are coming for we are for people. We will do anything. But now Manipur is burning, but no one is not doing anything. Still they are silent. They are just saying to be peace, peace, peace. We might be also saying that we want peace, but the Kuki people they don't want peace only. They just want war. Still, they are continuing this. They are killing people. They are firing. Still, the thing is happening in Manipur, and the government is still silent.
Yeah.
How many days people of Maitai? How many days they are going to face this problem?
That is very telling, Toybiji. Really, I really can't understand what the government is doing, because I can quite see like even the BSF and the state police literally couldn't reach you, because I gathered from you earlier that the state police mostly consisted of Kuki people in those Kuki dominated areas of Churachandpur and Moiria. So literally the houses were burning and the terrorists were just having a field day, and you people had no one to help, no one to help. So it's really very extremely sad situation, and very brave of you people to come. And now let's go to Nang Thoi. Nang Thoi, namaste. Nang Thoi comes from Churachandpur area, and she has her own story to tell, like how she faced problems due to this terrorism, and she will throw light on all that she has to say about the problem and how it can be tackled. Nang Thoi, you're welcome to speak. The floor is all yours.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on your platform, because most of the Mayday victims are not given a platform to speak on. So thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am Gayatri and Vladimir, sir, because you are the only one, you guys are the only one who have acknowledged and given us this platform. And here I would also like to point out that we are not cowards, that we are not showing our faces. That's because most of the Mayday victims who have come and spoken in this national media and in YouTube platforms have received serious threats, death threats from the Kuki community. That's why we have not. That's why our camera is off right now. If not, we could have spoken out. So here,
Yes.
the discrimination faced by the Maydays in Churachandpur has not started from 3rd May. It has started from when if I'm about to speak only for myself, then I will say that from my high school day onwards, we have faced discriminations, and not only Métis, but all the people from like other communities who have come and settled in Manipur, in Churachandpur area, have faced discriminations from the Kuki communities, like in school, like all those Christians, the wait, let me speak in Hindi.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yes. जो हमारे स्कूल है चुराचांदपुर में, तो स्कूल्स में भी हमें ये जो बाइबल है ना उसे खरीदने के लिए हमें मजबूर किया जाता है। जैसे कि हमें बाइबल खरीदने होते हैं। पर्टिकुलरली देयर इज स्कूल, मैं उसका नाम नहीं लेना चाहती यहीं पे, बट वहाँ पे एडमिशन्स के बाद हमें बाइबल खरीद के हमें चर्च में जाके हमें चर्च में जाना पड़ता है उसके बाद, और हमें सॉन्ग बुक भी खरीदना पड़ता है एडमिशन्स के बाद। उसके बाद और दूसरे स्कूल्स में क्या होता है, हमें बाइबल को पढ़ना पड़ता है वो असेंबली में। तो डिस्क्रिमिनेशंस ये स्कूल के फील्ड्स में ऐसे है। उसके बाद हमारे जो कल्चरल फेस्टिवल्स होते हैं चुराचांदपुर में, उसमें भी ये कुकी लोग ने क्या किया, हमारा जो लाइहराबा फेस्टिवल है जो 2 years बैक में हमें करना था, तो वो जो ट्रिबोंग इलाके में जो पीस ग्राउंड है उसे हमें यूज करने से मना किया गया कुकी लोगों ने, क्योंकि देयर वाज सम प्रॉब्लम्स, जो इम्फाल वैली में कुछ प्रॉब्लम चल रहा था, तो उसके वजह से हमें पीस ग्राउंड यूज करने के लिए वो लोग ने मना किया। एंड दिस ईयर ही हमारा जो योसंग फेस्टिवल है, जो होली फेस्टिवल है, उसमें हमारा थबल चोंगबा में भी वो लोग ने गन फायरिंग शुरू कर दिया। उसके वजह से हमारा जो थबल चोंगबा है उसे हमें डिस्पर्स करना पड़ा। सो ये जो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन है, हम ऑन वेरियस फील्ड्स इन एवरीडे लाइफ हम ये फेस करते आ रहे। सो हमारा जो हम नेटिव्स चुराचांदपुर में, सम ऑफ अस आर ओबीसीज, तो हम ओबीसी है पर भी हमें जो ओबीसी सर्टिफिकेट्स है वो नहीं दिया जाता। अगर हमें लेना है तो हमें ब्राइब करना होता है। We have to bribe the Kuki officials in the SPO office and DC offices. और अगर हम इसके वजह से मेइतेई लोगों जो चुराचांदपुर में ओबीसी है उसने थक हार के जनरल कैटेगरी से ही अप्लाई किया है। सो उसके बाद डेमोग्राफिक चेंज के बारे में भी मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ कि बचपन में हम जो मेरे घर के अगल बगल में जो विलेजेस है वहाँ पे सिर्फ थोड़ी ही घर थे, पर अभी हम देखेंगे तो उसमें बहुत सारे न्यू विलेजेस आर फॉर्म्ड, जहाँ पे फॉरेस्ट था अभी उसे क्लियर करके विलेजेस फॉर्म्ड होने लगे। उसके बाद और इमिग्रेंट्स का जो इशू है वो भी रियल है। चुराचांदपुर में जो लोग रहते हैं वो सब जानते हैं कि इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स इज अ इशू एंड इट्स अ रियल इशू, क्योंकि जो डेमोग्राफिक चेंज है वो सैटेलाइट के थ्रू में भी वो विजिबल है कि डेमोग्राफिक चेंज हुआ है। एंड
that was really very nice.
Yes. And about poppy plantation भी हो रहा है। हम जो चुराचांदपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट का जो हिल इलाका है उसमें जो फॉरेस्ट एरिया है, मैं वहाँ भी विजिट करने गई थी, तभी हम देख सकते हैं कि वहाँ सब ट्रीज को कट करके वहाँ पे पॉपी उगाने शुरू हो गए थे। हमने देखा है ये सब। उसके बाद जो बॉर्डर स्टेट्स, चुराचांदपुर का जो डेमोग्राफिक है वो ऐसे है कि एक साइड में वो म्यांमार बॉर्डर है और एक साइड में वो मिजोरम बॉर्डर है। तो बोथ साइड से इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स, ये जो रिफ्यूजीज है वो आ रहे हैं चुराचांदपुर में। तो जो बर्मा बॉर्डर है वहाँ पे मैं एक बार विजिट करने गई थी मेरे पेरेंट्स के साथ पिकनिक के लिए। तो क्योंकि वहाँ जो बर्मा एंड चुराचांदपुर बॉर्डर में वहाँ एक सोल्ट लेक है, तो उस जगह पे हम पिकनिक करने गए थे, तो हमें पता चला कि वहाँ कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं है, बॉर्डर फेंसिंग भी नहीं हुआ है और कोई सिक्योरिटी भी नहीं है, कोई आ जा सकता है। कभी पुलिस फोर्सेस ज्यादा नहीं है, 2-3 ही है वो लोग। अगर वो लोग जब अपने खाने पीने के लिए, लंच एंड डिनर के लिए अगर वो लोग बाहर जाते तो कोई नहीं है वहां बॉर्डर में देखने के लिए। सो उसके बाद
वहां पर लोग आ रहे, आई मीन वो वहां से तो पूरा इलीगल इमिग्रेशन होते ही रहेगा। इट्स लाइक एन ओपन वाटर टैप, यू नो, कंप्लीटली।
यस। और ये जो इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स है ये इतना ज्यादा विजिबल है ना चुरचांदपुर में कि हम अगर देखेंगे ना कि चुरचांदपुर में बर्मीज लोग भी आ गए, वहाँ रेस्टोरेंट भी खोल लिया वो लोगों ने। और बहुत बर्मीज लोगों का जो एक्सेंट है ना, ऑल्दो दे हैव एथनिक टाइज विद द कुकीज, पर भी उसका जो एक्सेंट है वो थोड़ा अलग है। सो वी कैन नो दैट they are not the original people living in चुरचांदपुर। ये लोग इलीगल इमिग्रेंट्स है, हमें पता चल जाता है। क्योंकि वो लोग को जो वहाँ का लोकल डायलेक्ट्स भी उन्हें अच्छे से नहीं आता है वो लोग को। और ये जो रिफ्यूजीज जो आ रहे हैं ना, वो लोग ये चुरचांदपुर एरिया में वो लोग ये जो डेली वेजेस के लिए काम करने के लिए बहुत ढूंढ रहे हैं। क्योंकि मेटे पीपल जो चुरचांदपुर में है वो सब बिजनेसेस रन करते हैं ना, तो हम डे टू डे लाइफ में हम देख पाते हैं कि हमारे दुकान में भी लोग आते हैं कि हमें काम दे दो, पर वो लोग को क्या है, मणिपुरी भी नहीं आता। और वो जो कुकी भाषा बात करते हैं ना, वो दूसरा जो कुकी जो चुरचांदपुर में नॉर्मली रहते हैं उसके साथ भी वो उतना ज्यादा सिमिलर नहीं, थोड़ा का एक्सेंट में डिफरेंट है, तो हमें पता चल जाता है। और वो लोग के पास आधार कार्ड भी नहीं होता है। सो और ये जो वायलेंस
और मेरे ख्याल से आप लोग कह रहे थे पहले व्हेन वी वर टॉकिंग कि वहाँ जो बिहारी और बाकी के लोग जो आके सेटल हुए तो उनका भी घर वर मतलब कुछ shops and other businesses that they run, the cookies just burnt all that. I think it happened in 2007 में हुआ था कि उन्होंने पूरा बिहारी एंड बाकी यूपी बिहार से जो आए उनको भी जला के भगा दिया मेरे ख्याल से।
मैम रिगार्डिंग दैट, ये चुरचांदपुर में तो ऐसे नहीं हुआ है।
मोरिया में हुआ है।
यस आई डोंट नो अबाउट मोरिया, बट चुरचांदपुर में ये नहीं हुआ है।
तो भी के पास जाएंगे फिर उसके बारे में बात करें।
और चुरचांदपुर में क्या हुआ है, जो मेटे लोगों है और जो ऐसे बिहारीस मलवारीस ये सब है, वो लोग पे हमें टैक्स देना पड़ता है, जो कुकी का सो मिलिटेंट्स को वहाँ पे।
लीगल हफ्ता आप जो कह रहे हैं, हफ्ता की बात कर रहे हैं कि आपको यहाँ पर बिजनेस करना है तो हफ्ता देना पड़ेगा। So all this also goes into buying weapons and all that. I mean, they have sophisticated weapons and you literally have no one to defend you. अच्छा, आप लोग के ऊपर अभी इल्जाम लगा रहे हैं कि आप लोग मिलिटेंसी कर रहे हैं, आप लोग मार रहे हैं, आप लोग जला रहे हैं। तो इसके बारे में आप लोग जरा कहिए कि कैसा है कि you're just defending yourself and that too आपके पास वो जो विलेज डिफेंस जो भी कर रहे हैं थोड़ा बहुत, उनके पास कैसे वेपन्स हैं कि वेपन्स है ही नहीं, किस टाइप का क्या सिचुएशन है?
मैम रिगार्डिंग दैट मैं ये बोलना चाहती हूँ कि ये जो रैली हुआ था 3 मई को, रैली में ये लोग AK-47 के साथ आए थे। तो उसके बाद रैली में ये वो लोग क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि ये जो एंग्लो सेंटिनरी गेट है ये मेटे ने जलाया है। तो उसके बाद वो लोग आए AK-47 में, ट्रक्स में बहुत ज्यादा लड़के लोग आए। उसके बाद दे स्टार्टेड अटैकिंग द टोरबुंग एंड कंबाई एरियाज। तो अगर लोग AK-47 लेके वो लोग उसका एरिया में अटैक कर रहे, घर जला रहे, उसके बाद तो मेटेज भी तो वहाँ के एरिया के मेटेज भी तो रिटेलिएट करेंगे ना मैम। हमारे पास तो वेपन्स नहीं है तो हम कहाँ से लेंगे वेपन्स? हम तो पुलिस फोर्सेस से ही लेना पड़ेगा ना, क्योंकि हमारे पास तो वो लोग की तरह सो मिलिटेंट्स नहीं है, टेररिज्म नहीं है। उसके बाद हमारे पास तो पहले से वेपन्स तो नहीं था, तो हमें तो कहाँ से लेना पड़ेगा? हमें तो पुलिस स्टेशन से ही लेना पड़ेगा ना। तो यही है मैम, सेल्फ डिफेंस तो करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, लोग तो मर तो नहीं, I mean, you can't simply say कि okay, come, we'll just die so that you people take over. That's not the way. I mean, you have a right to self-defense that is divine and even constitutionally allowed. I mean, it is your right. So, because the state is supposed to protect you. If it doesn't, then what do you do? So next, Nangtoy ji, it was really very nice. So Laima, I would like to introduce Laima here. She is a mother with a very young child, and she has witnessed terrorism right in front of her eyes. Her house was burnt, bombs were thrown, one of her relatives were even killed. So we have Laima with us who will tell her experience, and how her child, she's now trying to manage her child and everything, living in, I mean, they have been even put in camps and all those things. It was so difficult for them, and she'll share her experience with us and so many other things that she had experienced right from her childhood, how it developed. Laima, please unmute yourself and speak. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Gayatri ji and everyone. Thank you for giving me the platform over here. My story. It's not a story actually. It's still going on and on. It's going to be, even in a history. It's history and present. It's both going to happen. So I don't want my future generation to go on in this situation. So today I'm here speaking out loud and clear that such act of the cookies, I would say now as a cookie, but at end I will tell them what I have to give their name. Yeah, they on the, on childhood onwards, I'm born, matlab, I have been living with them from each of the community of Churchandpur. I have known them very well. Yes, on the 3rd May, everyone have faced issue, but from childhood onwards, we have been uh, looked down by them, and also they have even humiliate. They have even, bullied us in the name of name it, in the education wise, even in the religion wise, even in the food that we eat, the god that we worship. In every angle they have been bullied us, and this is very true, and they should accept it. They know it, but they will never accept it in their life because they are born and brought up with all the lies. And we are, they will tell me that why I have come up now when it is very late. But I also have a family. I have my loved ones. Unlike them, they are animals, I would say. They can kill one another. They can, kill their own blood just to make the lies as a true. So on the, from the beginning, as I told you, okay, as I mentioned, that we have been discriminated. So the childhood that I have been through, and then till now, it's very tough. Yes, there is good ones as well, but the good ones are also a victim in this situation, in this current situation, and even in the past as well, because terrorism, everyone knows how the terrorism destroy our livelihood between its community. That is very clear. And also even among the small community, there are lots of crises, but it's all because their evil mind. And this is how it's been going on. And yes, I have married, and then I already have a child, but still today I'm running from my own homeland. It's only because of them. It's only because of them today we are refugee. My parents, who are, who have been living there since I'm the 3rd generation, and I have been seeing all the changes in Chudachandpur, which is happening currently, and even throughout the year I have seen all that. And yes, the hills which we used to go and pick sticks, and then which we used to go for fetching water, now there is no longer exist. It's all, cover up with houses. And all the new chiefs which have come up, they are not a new chief. Most of them, the chief, which village chiefs and all, they're all, self-made, propagated. So it's all, they made it. It's only because they wanted to invite themselves to so-called the Kuki land. They wanted to build their own land. It's not about, against our ST. It's not against our the demand of the Meiteis. It's because they wanted their own land, and then they wanted to kill the own land owner of Manipur, that is we. So that is why this all is happening. And then yes, right in front of the forces, the central forces as well as the state forces, we have been, mobbed on the third midnight. And then right in front of my baby, who is only 2 years, no more than that, there are lots of child who was not even 1 year, right in front of them. The mob, the Kuki terrorists, they come with gun, and then they have, disturbed. They have done all the wrong things right in front of the child. They don't have that anything, and that humanity doesn't exist anymore with the Kukis. So that is how they have done to us. I have been calling on the third night. I have been trying to contact since afternoon. I have been trying to contact with the local police, but there was no response. And on the late 3rd May, finally at around 9:30, not 9:30, 11, late 11, I got a call back from Assam Rifle, telling me that they have came to rescue us. But how can I go out on that time? Because over there, right in front of the Assam Rifle, all the mob who were ready to kill us, who were hunger of our bloods, were already there. And they don't even say a single word, even referee. They were not blowing even a referee just to chase them away. At least they could have done that, but no, they don't. I don't know why. I don't know why they are waiting for the orders right in front of them. They could not even tell them, just go away, we are there, karke. So that is very unfair.
Very unfair, extremely heartrending. And Laima ji, you were even telling me earlier, like there was a Jagannath temple shrine was burnt down, destroyed completely, and then you had a Brahmin family really suffering. So
Yes,
can
yes.
you hear about that?
Yeah, finally on the third, after all that mob and all, finally I contact with the Assam Rifle people, stating that I wouldn't be able to come out, right? So after that, the mob have finished everything, destroying, burning down all the houses of my locality, and even the roadside shops and all the jewelry shops, all the electronic shops have been looted right in front of us. But we don't have the guts to take out our camera and film it, because we were already shocked seeing that, and we were already very scared. So it was right in front of us. We were speechless. We could not even say a single word on the phone. And then we waited for the forces to settle there, and then as soon as the mob went off, we came out. And from the place, from my house, as soon as we come out, we were taken to a hole where majority of the on the site, the area was Kuki majority. So over there also we get again mob party mob party came to attack us again, and that area. So the things which we could not take anything. What things we could take was only our certificate. The certificates, like my certificates, my parents' certificates. So those certificates were even burned down. And not only certificate is okay, basic. It's minority. It's another thing. But even the milk, even my baby is a bottle feeding baby. They could even burn down the baby milk, the bottle, and the milk which I carry. They even burn those. So think, are they human? Will we scold them as a human? And
Yeah,
now
and
they are saying that they are human, right? They are not wrong. They are the true going people. So this was happened. And for the Jagannath, yes, we celebrate every Jagannath, those yatras. We celebrate everything that is yearly. We do all that festival. But the one who that pujari, we never got changed. He's there since before even many years ago, before even my birth, before I was born. He was already there. He was taking care of the idols like Jagannath ji, Bhagwan. He's a pujari. So right in he was not ready to come out of the mandap, the god place, the from
Mandir.
his house, yes, mandir, because he do daily puja, aarti. He does aarti day and night. So for that he said to his family that he will not come, because he want to do all the whatever he was doing for the Jagannath. So that day he stayed back on the 4th. He stayed back 4th May, and then on the 5th, 6th, what happened was those more people came to the to our locality, and then what they did was right in front of the pujari, Jagannath Murti was being cut off. The head of the Jagannath was cut off. So imagine how will the pujari feel. Till today he is not eating food. He is not cooking. He is not even putting a drop of food which is cooked.
This is horrible, very horrifying. This shows that they have hatred for Hinduism and Hindus. I mean, they are targeting you because they are not Christians. I mean, otherwise, why hurt an idol? I mean, if it is just
Yes.
something
If
like very community wise or something of that kind, why hurt an idol?
Yes,
This is
even that, yeah, that happened right in front of the pujari. And not even that, on the 26th May of the 26th May, 26th of April, even our in Thinangthai area, one of the locality in Churchandpur, over there also they burned down the Meitei's, a temple, small temple of Sanamahi. That is also being burned down right in front of the owner. Okay, right in front of the pujari of the house, inside their house. And then what they did was, on the next day they give a press apology later to the concerned person from their Kuki, what to say is locality chief. So that kind of act, like, they have lots of hatred to us. But I don't think that even the Bible must have taught them ki you should not respect other religion. It's them who is attacking each and every religion. It's very clear and loud, and everyone knows. Not only the temples of the Hindu, even the idol which is kept inside the house. Not even for the community, that has been burned down. Why? This is my question. Why? It's only because of the hatred. It's only because of the hatred of our community, of our religion. This is very, very, very painful for us and for the Hindus as well. This is not fair. And the Brahmin who is now suffering, who is going to go and consult him? He is not getting his RT time. Now he is not able to do that. Now he's telling, I will die only when I can get the puja. If I'm doing the puja and RT, only at that time I will eat, or else I will not eat. Karke, he is still starving. He is eating only raw, like fruits. So such kind of act is done by the cookies. I don't know. I don't think that in the Bible itself there is no such that to hate the other religion. I don't think that such
I
preaching,
have
such
my
mentality.
reservations. Yeah, I know, I understand, but I have my reservations about Bible. But anyway, that is not the point here. The point here is conversions and breeding that hatred for the other, which starts from the church itself. Now, I think I'll get in. Vladimir, are you here? Okay, Vladimir, what about the role of the church in all this? Because church, how how far does the church, okay, are we getting Vladimir? Okay, how far, what is the role of the church in all this? Violence and breeding hatred for Hindus, that I would like to ask from you. And then there's one more thing that I would like to ask you about these kooky MLAs. They literally being speaking the language of the terrorists. So there's no difference between the other cookies and the cookie terrorists and the cookie MLAs. So about that, can you please explain? And about the Gorkhas, how they have even ethnically cleansed the Gorkhas. Now, these Gorkhas are not Nepali Gorkhas, they are very much Manipuri Gorkhas who have been living there for centuries together. So, please, about these things. Adityanath, are you there?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Gayatri ji. I would like to start this matter in a very clear manner. I would like to describe the violence from April 27th. First misconception which is there is violence didn't start on May 3rd. It started in Churachandpur on April 27th. And I think both the witnesses from Churachandpur, one of whom were there, would agree that the smashings of the CCTV cameras in Old Bazaar on 27th April and followed by the stone pelting on the police with loudspeakers blaring hateful songs, this constitutes as violence. Commandos had to be called to bring order. And that was even protested against by the people. So for that reason, one of the major blunders which was done was for the so-called Kuki Student Union, under their requests, under their pressure and protests, the commandos were removed. Now, first thing, Gayatri ji, there is a big table there showing the date and incidents of the on May 3rd. So first of all, there were forest lodges in Bungmual, Mata Mualtam, Saikot, these areas which were burned down by 1230. And this I had been telling in every platform that the burning of the Centenary Gate. Gayatri ji, can you present with that big table? Yes. Meanwhile, and this I had been telling for the long time that this Centenary Gate, this Centenary Gate which happened, burning, which they say is a so-called putting two tires there as an excuse, this happened at 240. Not, yes, this one. Not way after this. And before that incident, there was burning actually happening in Bishnupur also. So most of these forest houses which were burnt contained records of illegal immigrants. And the state government was taking very firm action against their opium trade. And they had actually even started an identification drive to throw out the illegal immigrants from the March month of 2023. So these matters also created a lot of insecurity among the cookies, and this insecurity manifested themselves in this controlled violence. Now, the role of the church. As we see the violence unfold, what we see is that the retaliation in Imphal starts way later, 6:45, 7 at the earliest, that too in small scale. But before that, there had already been a good solid 8 to 10 hours of violent burning, loot and arson entirely started by the cookies. And in Churachandpur also, before the so-called peace rally, they were threatening people not to come out and join the rallies. Now, church's role we see right away in this coalition. The different Janajatis who you see under the great umbrella of terms like Kuki, Mizo, Chin, Hamar, Paite, these sub-Janajatis different, this huge umbrella of this is a wide, loosely held coalition, and church is a major glue which holds on this coalition. So I think all of you guys will agree that a major surprise was when the cookies attacked them in Churachandpur. First, the other Janajatis, Hamar, Paite, these guys did not actually, in some cases, join the cookies and formed a united front. So this was first thing. Second major role of the church was immediately on 4th of May, a coordinated network of bot accounts and other things started a fake narrative trying to spread the situation that it is the Meiteis who are doing violence and the cookies are the victims. So the typical old-fashioned victim card started to be played, and this is too sophisticated to not be pre-planned. Another point where we see the church is there is international huge amounts of funding and huge amounts of sophisticated planning involved. The moment if we go into these factors going there, now I would like to go along the chronology what happened. Mob violence started in 3rd and 4th of Churachandpur and More. There, Imphal, there was retaliation, and it was this retaliation which stopped the mass mob violence. Immediately they had a plan B ready. What was the plan B? The plan B was very simple: split up into smaller groups, find gaps in the defenses and among the security forces, and take advantage maximum of the sue or suspension of operation agreements, which should be scrapped immediately. So taking advantage of that, they went into the attack or offensive, and they started targeted killing. By now, I would like to come to the 10 MLAs. Now, in this situation of unrest, as the violence, loot, and arson continued, and most of the Meiteis had been completely cleansed. And one request, Gayatri ji, later you should definitely ask Thoibi about the situation in More, about the relief camps. What was it? It's terrible. So this kind of violence with it going on. After that came the final thing. Then, can you show me that yellow document with all the 10 MLAs? Yeah. So while it comes, I'll continue telling. So these 10 MLAs you see, most of the Kuki electorate, if you see in the Hill electorate, they have 19 reserved seats. This is not open for all. Everyone cannot contest in these seats. Now, most of these seats, taking advantage of this lack of competition, have gone to people who are involved with terrorism or drug trade or both. The huge amount of funding which the drug trade generates out of tax as a parallel economy, this makes it a very lucrative thing for politicians, and there the Kuki MLAs and even many of the other politicians are involved. And these were the pictures which you see. From the 4th from the left is Paulian Lal Haukip. He was an MLA who gave the interview in Where to Karan Thapar, and he was the MLA who was what to say. It is alleged that he is a Burmese citizen, and it is alleged, and there he has a first degree relationship with terrorist groups, foreign terrorist groups. Same, the first one to the left, Kim Neo Hangshing, he is also has first degree relationships to a terrorist group, very high ranking official, and all of these 10 MLAs are basically related to terrorist groups. So what they did was that they basically simply made a demand that we need a separate administration, and with that demand, as they spread it out, they were doing a very bad ethical practice, because they were still in their legislative force of India. While being there, they did it. 13th, the KPA terrorist group declared civil war on the Meiteis, and on the 14th, right along the foothill areas. Imagine Manipur as a bowl, like Imphal Valley as a bowl with a huge ring of the hills surrounding it. So in these, along the foothill areas of these, there are critical villages like Serao, Sugnu, Paeng. These lie along critical national routes of communication, and they were repeatedly being attacked dozens of times. The main goal is to wipe out the Meiteis from there and to create clear demarcation zones between Meiteis and Kukis. So now the targeted killing stops. The terrorist camps like German camp, Nazareth camp, these camps start springing up. So there is a plan C ready right away. So this shows sophisticated approach, and this kind of sophisticated approach is planned for multi-years with a multi-year program, with a lot of funding, with a lot of other external players making strategies. So this came.
Adityanath, I would like to ask you, when you say external funding, what is your assessment? Like, do you think China is involved? or other countries where church-based countries like Western countries, US and all. So what is your assessment? What could be what are all the players that could be involved here?
In this matter, it has been highly alleged that churches from UK and other Western countries have been investing there, particularly some Chin Church and other associations based in the West have been doing it. And also, biggest information which the West provides them openly is the data. Joshua Project. Some one of you guys search that website. In that Joshua Project, you will see every one of your Janajatis, every one of your Vishnupriya, Manipuris, Maiti, among all the terms, every one of your percentages will be given, how much Christians, how many not Christians, why there is less. And these are actually given to missionaries to find your strategic weakness and attack you in along those points. So these things are absolutely present. And so this kind of logistical support is even now being provided, and this Joshua Project logistical project has been provided for more than 5 decades. So this is nothing new. So I will like to continue this point that whenever this third part becomes, and this is where it is becoming a stalemate. So now currently along the fertile plain of Churachandpur, adjacent to it, they have positioned snipers. They have positioned bunkers along there, constructed bunkers along there. They have placed landmines in the foothills in which a cow had a painful, excruciating death stepping on it. So what they are doing is they are cutting off the southern part of Manipur, a large portion of Churachandpur, which they gained, for lack of a better word, by ethnically cleansing the Meiteis and the other non-Kukis from there. So this is how they are consolidating their land and further moving on. Same thing is happening in Phaing, because Phaing protects the western flank of Imphal. It's just a little bit west to Imphal. If we see in the map of Manipur, this Phaing also, it is being repeatedly attacked. People are being very tortured, and this is just to inspire fear, to break up resistance. So yes, like you see Imphal there with the red dot, a little bit away from Imphal to the left of it will be Phaing. Around the area where you see the P around that of Imphal, roughly around that area will be Phaing and other villages. So yes, and all of these villages lie along the critical supply lines. Serau Sugnu lies along Churachandpur More route. So it is becoming a stalemate like that. Lots of bloodshed is happening. They are receiving unlimited reinforcement almost due to the porous border and the Sioux and abusing the Sioux agreements. There are reports coming of large groups of terrorists infiltrating here. Operations have started, and one good thing is at least the NH2 highway, the lifeline, which you can see here, which was coming on. Yeah. There are news reports today that it has been at least temporarily reopened, so at least some supply can reach the people who are suffering tremendously due to lack of medicines, lack of food and other things in the valley. And this kind of blockade, it is an act of war, I think, against the state. And this has to take strong legal action, both declaring contempt against the government under Article 21 and also same for the Sioux. It is against the life and other things there. So strong legal action and other things and support actions has to be done. So now I will come to the Gorkha thing. Huh? Yes?
Yeah, Vladimir, yes, about the Sioux, that is, you need to sort of explain that properly to the viewers. What is the Sioux about? That is this suspension of operation against the Kuki terrorists or the militants, which was entered into in 2008. So we need to elaborate about that and how it affects the safety of the Métis.
The Sioux is something like an agreement which was made, a three-way agreement between the state government, the central government, and then the 25 Kuki terrorist groups, which were done under the umbrella term of suspension of operation for you. So this agreement states that the terrorists will receive 6,000 rupees of our own tax money monthly as a stipend. Terrorists allege that they don't receive the money repeatedly, regularly. It is irregular, but whatever, at least it's written that 6,000 rupees now they receive monthly stipend from us. In exchange for this, they are not allowed to do atrocities. They are not allowed to extort people, like which we have already seen in many places. They have broken this agreement totally. Second thing, they have even bursted water pipes and sent entire villages to siege in the summer conditions. so cutting off their water supply. So they have done all kind of inhuman activities on civilians. Third, they have tortured people and murdered them painfully in Paying, Serau, and Sugnu. So these things are happening. Now, third, I would like to add is that third agreement was that their weapons would be kept in a locked room, safe room, with two keys. One will be with the army, and one will be with the two militants. Fourth thing, they were to stay in designated special camps. They were not supposed to go away. Now, in a surprise check in 13 of those Sioux camps, only 58% was there. And one of the one of the Kuki intellectual professors were actually telling 58% of the terrorists present in camp means all the terrorists are present. So this is the level of support you can see from the civilian population. And another thing which I would want to admit, I think most people will agree, the illegal immigration at that scale cannot occur without civilian support. The Kuki civilian support was fully there. Their ethnic ties were very strong. And this strength of the ethnic tie led them to support the full large-scale illegal immigration, which has now become a national security threat for us. Now, after this condition which is going on, so this is the plan. So they had a proper battle plan chalked out for a long time fighting with contingencies. So this is nothing now new. Now I would like to come into the Gorkha thing. Gayatri ji, can you show me the two documents of the Gorkha? Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to add one thing. Hello.
Yes.
Yes. For the designation came for the Sioux. Yes, they have already signed with laws and order, but even when there is no crisis, when nothing, like normal days, during the normal days as well, they roam with their weapons. They go out. They are right in front of the forces, even state forces, as well as the Assam Rifle, right in front of them. They roam even in the late night. This is we see clearly, but the thing is that they don't take action. So I wanted to ask, like, why such laws are not followed by the Kukis, and why the central force is not taking action against them. So this is so threatening for us to live in Churchandpur because of such act. It's not about what is happening right now, how the Kukis are doing this ethnic cleansing, but even before that, they have been roaming here and there with their weapons and then threatening to the people. This is not only my voice, it's all the voices of the Churchandpur who wants to stay safe in their own land, in their own home. Whoever, even a simple thing, like, let's say if I have a little argument with one person who is already linked with the militants, they will bring one of the militants personal, and then with gunpoint they will be threatened. So such kind of act is happening, not even this, it's been long. So it is very difficult for everyone who is staying in Churchandpur, whether it be Kuki or whether it be Meitei or whether it be Punjabi or whoever is there. It's all it's all scary. We feel scared to even speak up. So even today we need to hide our face because of this, because of such act. So it's not new. The forces, they know, they will, even if we go up and complain about this, they didn't do anything, they doesn't do anything, they will not do any action. So this is the reason today we are suffering. And even now, even right now, over there in Churchandpur, they are roaming here and there with their guns, with their weapons, with their, they say that it's already controlled by the central force, but no, this is not done. It's all, they are roaming here and there. They are doing, which is not to be done by the Sioux militants, but they are not a militants, I would say. They are, they are very disturbing terrorists. That's why today, even the Kukis themselves among their community, they feel scared to open their mouth. They're scared to even speak up about this issue.
Absolutely, Laima ji, you're right. Vladimir ji, it just reminded me of one thing before we go to the Gorkha part. Just a few days back, I think 2-3 days back, there was a statement by one of the Kuki terrorist group's chairman, right? And he said that in 2017, Ram Madhav and Himanta Biswa Sarma had made a pact with them to help BJP candidates win elections, right? So is that the reason why they're allowed? I mean, there's nothing to. I mean, the central forces are just looking and not even curbing. I mean, not even doing anything when the Kuki terrorists are roaming around freely with arms. I mean, it's not just now during the violence part, and even before they were doing that. That's what Laima was saying. So what do you have to say about this?
That question is for me or for Laima ji?
Anyway, either you can take or Laima ji can take, whatever.
Laima ji, आप बोलिए.
2019 दोनों elections में.
ओके, इन दैट केस लाइमा जी आप बोलिए या तो मैं बोलता हूँ. ठीक है, आई विल टेक इट. देखिए, पहला बात है, ये आप जो सिचुएशन बोल रहे हो, let us look at what happened. Even India today, there was an interview between Ram Madhav and Chengappa ji, where there were clean misfacts quoted. Like they were told 90% of the victims were Kuki in this case, not the Maiti. Whereas now we know that is the truth. And this thing was given at the middle, around the first week of June, end of May, first week of June, beginning of June. So in this case, at that time, there were burnt remains of people being found from Serau. There were fire, there were tortured people's corpses being found. Sugnu, there were multiple Maiti people were found who registered and who had lost their lives. So in this case, the 90% number to be true, based upon their numbers, basically it means only 11 Maitis have died, and if I add only these 3 incidents, that exceeds that. So this basically, even now today, let us see, Ram Madhav has quoted a lot of misnomers. Second fact, what he put was that there were like this issue is purely with land. Now here also I have some doubts that if some issue is purely about land, why would you attack somebody's dharma sthals? Why would you attack somebody's deva sthals? How much space does that Shiv Mandir at Kobru Lake I take? Not that much. So why use JCBs to rip it apart? And Churachandpur, they did not just destroy buildings. Some allegations are there that after throwing the Maitis out, the concrete houses, they actually use JCBs to bulldoze. So why these kind of practices clearly show that there is a religious motivation driving it. There is an ethnic angle to the violence. There is a foreign agenda being carried out because of wherever the foreign countries have seen that the biggest, easiest way to weaken India is to remove its demography. From wherever the Indian Sanatani culture gets wiped out, there only separatism becomes. There only the route to India gets loose. There only the major important parts you start to get, the crime rackets could flourish. So these kind of things, it benefits a lot of people, and it's too profitable for a lot of people to keep these kind of things. Now I would like to come to the agreement, the original thing. In this case, so far what happened, the UKLF, which is an umbrella term group, UKLF was one of the signatories of the Sioux Pact also, which we were discussing. So this Sioux Pact, the UKLF actually, they had sent this notice or sent this letter, basically. Almost it's like a letter to an open letter that telling that we had actually had a deal in 2018. We had been allowed to win we helped you a lot during the elections, and some terms and conditions you are not fulfilling. Those terms and conditions have not been explicitly mentioned, so unfortunately I cannot quote that letter because it's a bit over the top. It's like given in signal language which other people can understand. It's almost like that. It's not very comprehensively given facts. So this letter, and unfortunately the thing is that the government has neither accepted that they have made deal, nor they have actually refused the fact that they have made deal. So they have maintained a perfect silence regarding that.
We can quite assume that the silence means assent because it's a very serious allegation, because they should be actually coming out and refuting if they didn't have any such facts. Anyway, be that as it may, you were saying about Gorkhas being completely ethnically cleansed. And there's one more point that we have to speak about. That is, the Kukis are refusing to get their identifications done at the risk of not receiving even medical aid, especially in this COVID period and other things. They were dying. That's what I heard from you. So both the points you have to clear. So that shows
One correction, Gayatri ji. I would like to start with the Gorkha thing, but one correction: the medical aid thing happened in the peak of the violence in June month, not at the COVID time. So this thing, no problem. This Gorkha thing, like this letter was clearly written to JP Nadda ji, and there it was written that the Gorkhas, who were totally peaceful, and 63,700 Gorkhas are there in Manipur currently, and they are being subjected to extortion and categorically mentioned by both Sioux and non-Sioux terrorists. So there goes their extortion agreement out of the window. So they are doing extortion here also. They are taking away, driving away their livestock. And worst case, if you go to the second document, they are making these innocent minority Gorkhas to go and buy weapons from the weapon smugglers for them, sophisticated weapons, so that the real life risk and other things comes to them. So in the second page, it is clearly written. So it is like, basically, you are taking away the basic human rights of these Gorkhas. And because of that, the northern part of Manipur, Kangokpi and these areas, a huge number of Gorkhas people are actually evacuating. They are actually moving away from there. So this reason, they actually wrote a letter that we are willing to provide our land. You just simply provide security for us, at least one company, so that will stay and protect us from these Sioux terrorists and militants. No, militants, no, they are not militants now, they are terrorists only. From these Sioux terrorists. So they are doing this, and regarding other terms of the Sioux, they have violated everything. They have not kept any of the terms of that. So this is the thing. And fourth thing is that regarding that thing, yes, Gayatri ji, another document I sent you regarding that. Can you bring that last one?
This is the last one, I think.
No, not that one. Another one I sent that. Yeah, the one before that. Yes, this one. This is actually a document which is sent by, one of the things. This is a double whammy. Actually, when they call it Atsum, all tribal rally. First of all, it is not all tribal, it is all Christian rally. Second of all, there is no representation, nearly no representation, very low representation from Nagas and other things. It was almost, lion's share was Kuki, so it could almost have been Aksum, all Kuki Students Union, Manipur, something like that, who started the rally. So this is also another fact. This letter has actually been written by somebody, by a Kuki person, like this Kuki group, ITL, UF, and this Kuki, ITLF, yes, and this Kuki group is like basically a civil society organization, and they have written that we do not want the government to get check for identification data of the people, of the Kuki people in there. Why? Because we do not trust the government what they will do with this data. Whereas the government was asking for this data for a variety of purposes, one of which was providing aid. In Churachandpur, there is currently a serious lack of doctor and other healthcare support and other things. Now look at the callous disregard here. First of all, if you are calling yourself nationalist, why would you deny giving your data to them? And if you do not trust the country, then how do you call yourself a nationalist? And if you say you do not trust the government, okay, it's fine. But somebody asking you for your identification or data, that is a basic fundamental responsibility, and that should be provided. And because abuse of data in such a scale, under such a condition, is not a good enough excuse when there is a national security threat going on, and where Churachandpur from NH2 is being steadily barricaded and cut off from other areas. So this has caused an acute severe food crisis there. And currently even Mizoram there was fully supporting them. Mizoram also had a major role, that Mizoram has a huge soft corner for the Burmese illegal immigrants because of their tribal so-called same Janajati contacts. So these Janajatis, they provided shelter, and there is allegations that a large amount of illegal immigration happened from Mizoram, not just from Manipur. So this is the situation. I think this document clearly shows that there is an urgent need of NRC while keeping a very tight and strict control of Mizoram, so that the people cannot go back there, get illegal backdated documents, and sit on top of Manipur claiming to be legal residents. So this would be my conclusion. And in small, Sioux should be a major issue which we should go after immediately, and there should be full-scale army operations, no holds barred against the terrorists. Thank you.
Absolutely, very nice, Adityanath. Very nice analysis. I have one more question here. Like, for example, the number of MLAs, because there's also the demand for ST-ship is also because not just the land, because land is almost, because I spoke to Navakishorji, who is the World Council, World Métis Council head. So he was telling me, because I told him, what about the amendment in the Act, the 1960 Act, right? So which discriminated against the Métis not to buy hill area land. So he said, almost now the pani sarke upar se gaya, and we have lost almost all the land because the Métis have, the Kukis have even taken over our area. So he says now the next problem is of political representation. The number of seats that are there, I think, reserved for these tribals, STs, that is, are some 20 odd seats, and the rest they say are general, 40 for Métis. Métis are the only general ones there, major general ones. And then Gorkhas, so they are getting. So they now say that this, because of the demography change, so much of increase in the population of the ST tribe, which is which comes under this Christian Kuki Naga thing, and Chin and Jao. So like after the delimitation exercise, which will soon happen, the ST seats will grow, and these seats are going to again narrow down. And then it doesn't mean that the seats that are there in the general one, the ST person, that is the Kuki and other Christian people, they cannot fight from undeserved seats. They can always fight because they are now moneyed. That's what he said. They have more money than us. They can come and win the elections. Like in elections, money is all that matters these days. So he's saying that we need an ST status, so that what do you say about that, Adityanath, or any of you, Laima,
Please, I would like to take, please, no excuse to Laima ji, give them more after this.
Yes, I would like to say.
There is a reason why. I would like a couple of points here to be made very clear. See, let us keep it at a very simple level. To grow food and eat properly, you need land. ST rights is a major obstacle in there. They are not even able to buy back their own ancestral lands once it is taken away at a higher market price, say, even if their condition becomes better. This is major obstacle. Land issue is first thing. Now, currently, their society has become economically unviable. So much less land, so many people. They will have to migrate. So this is first problem with land. Second problem is, for a fundamental requirement, if you want to have a proper life or other things, you need a proper competitive spirit in the jobs. Right from their school to the college level to other things, as they had been told, that these kind of matters had been very dangerous and very struggling, very dangerous issues. So this kind of stuff, we had seen that it is a major issue. So right from the school, college, other things. So even your job and your basic lifestyle is being hampered. Now, third point I would like to add is in this kind of manner, where a major where ST rights is coming. ST rights is primary because even if you make the land reform off, most of the Meiteis to be able to buy land and to economically make it viable, they will have to. It will take decades. So basically, in this condition, land also, even if you just do the 1960 land reform, it will take decades for them to reach that level. So this, under the level of illegal immigration happening and the demographic situation, which is now 41.29 and 41 point something, and this 41.4 around. So under this condition, this is a very dangerous third situation. Now, fourth situation, if we go in there, that is another major important situation. The fourth situation is that if we see along the ST rights, is that it is about a question of their identity, their heritage. They had followed these practices for thousands of years. You cannot take away somebody's identity like that in 1941, which was done. That thing is wrong, and that thing should be actually legally challenged. So this kind of stuff cannot be allowed. So there are lots of aspects and lots of angles to it, which relates to their basic survival as well as their basic dignity. And like you were telling that the representation will keep on increasing, yes, as the representation keeps on increasing in that case, it will be tougher and tougher for them to win elections, to be electorally relevant. So that is also a basic right of voting you are taking away from people in a democracy. So basically they lose everything if they don't get ST rights. So that's all I would like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laima, you were saying something?
Yeah. Can I add on?
Yeah,
Yes. Actually, ST is very important for us because in case in the hill area, we are the only one who is general, and then discrimination is happening all over India. We have all seen that. So Manipur is not a big state as well. It's a very small, and then over there we have been facing all the discrimination and inequality thing over there. Our community, even if they say that we are majority, but we don't enjoy the things which they are enjoying. They can calm down in a valley. It's not even valley, it's a hill area, so they can enjoy to the places where majority of the Meitei are settling. And the hill area, we can't go there, and we can't just go and buy lands over there. Till now, the area which we are settling in Churchandpur is not a new build up like the new colonies that are built up in Imphal area. The hill in hill area, the Laikais, the colony which Meitei are occupying, it's not a new one which is built up in 2000 or 1990s. It's I'm the third generation, as I've mentioned. My grandfather, they have been living since time immemorial. Even my grandmother, my great grandmother, my forefather, they have died in Churchandpur. So it's not a new Laikais which are building up. I can, if you go and check over there which new the locality of Meitei is set up, there is none of the locality in Churchandpur itself. It's not a new build up. And the hill areas, cookies who are coming down to the Imphal area, it's all new one. Why? Because we are we love them. We are peace loving people. We allow them because we have equal thinking. We don't take it as an unknown person. We are living together, so they also have the right to stay. That's why we allow them to stay. But for them, it's not like that. For them, if Meitei are coming, for them it's a pain. They even till today, the temples, let's say the temples which are set up in Churchandpur are not new one, and the community which community halls which are set up, it's not a new one. It's all our ancestors' land. All are the old
I
land. Yes,
completely
and
agree.
then
Yeah.
yes, we
Laima, I
don't
would
set up.
like to add here. Yeah, I would like to add here what is meaning by new and old is this for the viewers to understand. The Kukis are a nomad tribe, so they have been always through ages. Like what they do is they come, they don't have this kind of a attachment to the land that they stay in. So they come and they move to another land because they indulge in what is called the shifting cultivation. So they move with the land. So wherever they go, the older people come, like for example, they come and occupy the hill area, then they move to the valley, and the illegal immigrants come more from Myanmar and other places. So the illegal immigrants come and occupy the hilly areas, as she was saying, the Churachandpur area. So they are the new, so you have in the Imphal Valley, new colonies or new villages being built of the cookies. So that is what she says by meaning new villages, right? Because they are new people who are coming. That's how they keep moving. Like it's a kind of a land jihad, because people are quite conversant with land jihad. I would like to say it's a kind of a land jihad that they indulge in. So, Laima, yes. Continue. Hello? Laima? I think we've lost her. Laima, can you hear me? Okay, or else Adityanath?
Yes, I can hear you. That's it.
Yeah. So, this about this thing that we have to say about this shifting cultivation and such things, how they build, they keep on moving and occupying new spaces. It's like a land jihad that they do, you know. So that's why they are pushing out Métis from their own land. So what would you like to say about that?
Since I would like to go back to a bit of history, and I would not simplify this as a land jihad.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that this is a migratory nature there, and this migratory nature of them had some ill effects. Let us look at the history first. The cookies had been going along from one place to another for a long time, and they would do jhum cultivation, which is like they would burn off the forest in one area. They would do crop cultivation. They would stay for maybe 3-4 years and then go another year, 2 or 3 years, and then go to another area and burn the forest there. And by the time they come back, typically there was at least a gap of 5 to 6 years. So some of the vegetation could survive by regrow there. Now with the poppy cultivation, the problem is that poppy destroys the fertility of the soil. It destroys the moisture retention and humus of the soil over time. So what is happening now, what they are telling is that due to this deforestation, rampant deforestation and soil fertility loss, it is very difficult to grow things. And poppy is so profitable. See, average cookie are not that rich, the poppy farmers. They have a very tough life. But the people who are at the top, they are very rich and it is too profitable for them. So a skill set among people is being systematically grown up, where even if they grow up other crops, yes, you can grow. But it won't be as efficient as they were before, a few decades ago. So this kind of situation, if you see here, that is the big danger of it, that when you destroy the environment like that, your rivers, I think any one of them can tell better. I would suggest you ask them another point, what happened to their environment in addition to the refugee camp they are related. So this also another point you should ask. So their environment got totally shattered and destroyed with this opium and poppy cultivation. And this opium and cultivation, unfortunately, this did not happen like that migratory mode. It is constant, it is non-ceasing, and it is going on. And if we see the images, every single hill district in Churachandpur has dozens of illegal villages cropped up, and forests are being felled at an alarming rate. So there is water crisis there, even though the rains are still holding up. But at this rate of deforestation, I really don't know. So this is basically a migratory habit which was present previously, which led to some controversy even with the British and some sharp words exchanged between the British about the cookies. But what we see now is not related to their migratory or jhum thing. It is just about profits and creating a parallel economy using that soil, because the moist soil of the hilly areas is very suitable for this, the forest areas. So that is why the forest areas are being destroyed like that. Thank you.
And is the present violence now directed by, because the present government had started a campaign. I mean, I had seen CM Biren Singh saying, literally declaring a war against this poppy cultivation, I mean this drug mafia. So is this violence now triggered, I mean completely sort of sponsored by these drug mafia?
Definitely, because without the drug trade, you do not have the economy to sustain such a thing. When you are bringing in thousands and lakhs of illegal immigrants over decades, you have to make sure that they have a lifestyle. They, when they get there, for that economic viability itself, you need hundreds of crores annually. So that can only come from a drug trade like that. So drug mafia was always involved in this case, and the biggest problem with the drug mafia now is that, see, the problem is that whenever the action was started and the excuse started, the narco mafia will keep the flame burning. They will keep illegal immigrants flowing in. They will keep burning a few quarter cash to get this thing in. They will keep the violence brewing. So it is extremely profitable for the opium cultivators to continue this violence burning, so that the main attention from the issue goes away, which is equal rights, which is throwing out the illegal immigrants, which is at least start the fencing of the Burma border, which is to restore the to put proper designated reserve forest areas in Manipur, not just by any community, but I think this is also something which no one is talking about. Reserve forest areas are there for a reason. These are done by ecologists and experts, so they have a reason why they are reserved. If you cut them down, there are huge impacts. So again, these reserve forests should be cultured, nurtured, and grown back. And those who call, somebody who calls himself tribal should definitely at least care about nature, because that is the primary condition of being a tribal. So that is all I would say.
Absolutely, you're very right there, Adityanath. In fact, it is the so-called, we don't call them tribals. In our Sanatani system, we call them Janjatis. It was the very Janjatis who used to always nurture nature, forests, and they kept it very luscious and filled with varieties of flora and fauna, which is actually helped our Sanatana Dharma reach pinnacles. We had our rishis going to forests and meditating for a very long time peacefully, and even ashramas running there. So just imagine what is happening now. I mean, having poppy cultivation and completely destroying the forests. So that was really a very good analysis. And Toibi, I think earlier Adityanath was asking me to remind you about the status of refugee camps in your area, like your Moira area. So could you please tell about that, and how Kuki militants are even sort of attacking the refugee camps, like about that? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
मैम एक्चुअली ये जो कुकी लोग ने जो रिलीफ कैंप में अटैक किया था, एक्चुअली ये पहले रिलीफ कैंप में नहीं, जब उस दिन 3 तारीख में मई 3 में जब वो लोग पूरा मणिपुर मैतेई लोग जब पुलिस स्टेशन में था, उधर पे पूरा कुकी ने वो जो पुलिस एरिया था पूरा राउंड करके पूरा उधर पे फायर किया था, फिर उसके बाद में पत्थर वो सब भी मारा था। वो क्योंकि जो पुलिस स्टेशन है उसके बगल में ही कुकी का पूरा मतलब एरिया है, कि वहां का जो वार्ड है, वार्ड नंबर 2, वार्ड नंबर 3, ऑल आर कुकी पीपल ओनली। वार्ड नंबर 3 में तो जहाँ पे पुलिस स्टेशन है, तो वहां पे वो लोग को ऑलरेडी इंफॉर्मेशन मिल गया कि उधर पे सब मैतेई लोग है, तो इसलिए वो लोगों ने पूरा राउंड करके पूरा एरिया को, कि वो लोग मारने वाले थे, कि उधर पे बच्चा हो या कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। जिस दिन वो लोग 3 तारीख को जब वो लोगों ने अटैक किया था, वो लोग घर में घुस के जब घर तोड़ना वरना सब स्टार्ट किया था, उस टाइम पे मैतेई लोग ने बोला था कि हम लोगों ने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, हम लोग का गलती क्या है जो तुम लोग ऐसा कर रहे। तो वो लोग ने क्या बोला कि तुम लोगों को पता नहीं है क्या, हम लोगों का लोग मर गया है, तुम लोग के लोग ने मारा है, तो तुम लोग को क्यों छोड़े, ऐसा ऐसा करके वो आंटी को भी मार के उसका हाथ भी टूटा था, जो उसका इंटरव्यू भी हुआ था। तो उसके बाद में वो लोगों को किसी के ऊपर रहम ही नहीं कि मैतेई है तो हम लोग मार देंगे, कि कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि तुम लोगों ने कुछ किया हो या ना किया हो। और आई वुड लाइक टू टेल समथिंग दैट people in some are saying that Meitei have started everything, but I would like to remind that when this thing happened, everyone in More, they are in relief camp, they are in police station, but the Kuki people, they are sleeping in their house. They are sleeping calmly, they are enjoying the view that what is happening. They are even putting status that this thing are happening here, like this. But the Maitai people, they are in relief camp, they are in police camp, that कि हम लोग को कब अटैक करेगा, हमारे ऊपर में कब फायर करेगा, कि उस डर में है। पर कुकी लोग तो अपने अपने घर में आराम से इजीली वो लोग सो रहे हैं, वो लोग खा रहे हैं। पर मैतेई लोग खाने का भी प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, रहने का भी प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है उधर पे।
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
can I
very
add on
point.
Toibi what she's saying? On the third, yes, everyone is suffering. Even I myself was running for my life with my baby and my entire family. But luckily I have a good friend as well from the Kuki community. I have a good friend. She called me. She's in Imphal area. So I was also worried. But on that day she called me late at night and telling me, as soon as she showed the status of my Facebook. So she asked me immediately, she gave me a call and she asked me where I am. Then I said I'm in a safe place. So for her, again I replied back to her, like, where is she? She said she is in her place, that is in New Lambulan. So over there I said, then it's very good. And then what about your security and all, is it safe? I keep on asking, are you safe, are you safe? Okay. So she said, yes, we are. Whole family and the whole locality, we most of us are safe because the security force is there. She replied me in that way. Then I was like, I don't feel angry. I just, I said, ki, yes, take care of yourself. If you need anyone, just let me know. I told, because from all Lambulan to my grandmom place, it's very close by. So I told, if you need anything, just give me a call. And I hung up. But after that, I was wondering why our state force and as well as the central force could not come and even stand for a while in our locality or the so-called in the main road. There was not even one person who come out and tell that to the Mo party that not to do. Everyone was involved. How can the cookies who are staying in another area come and attack us? It's all because of the locality who knows our Meitei home in our locality. It's not, the one who are staying away from our locality doesn't know whether that house belongs to Meitei or not. It's all involved. Even the common people near our area, they are all involved, I would say, because they are the one to pinpoint that this is our Meitei house, right?
Yeah.
So this is
Agreed.
very clear. And then even the area which Mar and all, they are majority over there, and the Meitei localities are there. They are also being burned. It's not free on that time. So it's clear that even they are also involved in burning their houses, because the Kuki community, they don't know that this house belongs to the Meitei, but the Mar people community, the tribals who are in Churchanpur, they are all involved and they are attacking us. So that is, it's a pre-plan, it's well-planned thing to cleanse the Meitei. They told us that the Meitei is doing the ethnic cleansing, but this is wrong. This is very wrong. They are the tribals who are in Churchanpur are doing the ethnic cleansing of the Meitei minority who are in hill. And we have a very, very much right to stay in the hill area, whether it be in More or whether it be in Churchanpur. We have the right.
Yeah.
Because it's I told you, it's not formed up in 1990 or 19. It's not in 90s. It's all 18. It's been there. Our forefather has been there, and we don't form yesterday. It's been very old. It's the oldest, villages still now, which we keep alive in Churchandpur area. So some of the mob party, they even say not to touch our area because they know that this is the pure ones, pure Manipuri who have been settling for long. But those mob cookies, militant terrorists, those terrorist people, they are not even ready to listen that, but to burn our houses.
Yeah.
That was happened right in front of us. We could hear that shouting. Some people are even shouting from our nearby people. They were shouting not to touch our locality. But what they did was they mercilessly, started burning our houses, destroying. They started looting right in front of them. It is all because of the terrorist mind, terrorist act. It's not a common people.
Absolutely, absolutely, Laima ji. That was really heartrending, and to know that it could be your neighbors, cookie neighbors, whom perhaps you live with and even laugh with, who would be informing them. So that shows, like, it's a replay of what I can feel like happened in Kashmir in 1989-90, where even the neighbors turned against uh, where even the neighbors showed the terrorists how they should be attacking the way to the Kashmiri Pandits' homes. Like, we've then seen that in so many occasions. It eerily reminds me of the same. So,
And also regarding the ST status, I would like to mention.
yeah, we are nearing. Yeah, Laima ji, can you please tell it in short so that we are nearing to us? Yeah, please go ahead. Laima, are you there? Hello?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so the ST status and the rights that have given to the cookies or the tribals of the Manipur, I would like to shout this. Since in the we come to under the umbrella of the central government, from that time we have been categorized as a general, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for us in Manipur, maximum of them, the small communities, other communities which they call themselves small, is now no longer minority. I would like to shout again, they are no longer minority. We, the indigenous people, like the pure Manipuris, they are becoming the minorities today. And the Meitei today, we are the minorities. We are no longer majority. Please know this, because we have been killed, we have been taken away all our rights, and the status which was given by the central government to the tribals of Manipur, this is not okay. This is all because of this status. Today we are facing all the criticism about our religion, and then bullying about what we eat, what we do, what we are today, because of all this inequality. Right of equality is written in the book, but it's not applied in our Manipur, which is very small. Today we are asking for the ST. It's not only because of the land, it's because their mindset, because the tribals, they think that we are general, we are outsiders, but we, the owner on we, the owner, is today we are becoming a refugee in our own land. Why not the Meitei stay in the hill area? Why can't we stay? Our forefather have been there, and why not today that we cannot stay? This is a big question to the central government. Why they are not giving us the protection? Why they are sitting quiet when we are coming out from our house? Why they are not protecting our house when it is protected equally in the valley area, where today you can go and visit the house of the burned cookie houses? But today the burned houses, where is our burned houses? There is no house.
It's a land, not even a brick is there. So that it's very clear that all they want is their statehood, and they want us to chase away. It's not even, we have equal right, we have the right, not equal right, we have a very big right to stay in our own hill area. It's our land, it's Manipur is our land, it's not theirs. If they wanted to fight, they can go for legal process, but no, what they do is they will kill us first, they will finish us, they will torture us, and they will claim. That is their idea, that is their plan. So the state government should look into this before checking the valley area. So-called valley is not a valley, please know this. It's no more valley. Go to Churchandpur, it's more the town. It's same as Imphal. It's same as Imphal. Why they are not developed? It's because whenever there is something development is coming up, the militants are enjoying. They know where the money is coming from, because they are already involved in politics. And even the state government, they don't have any hand, I would say, because all the sanction which come for the hill is very separate from the valley. And they are enjoying everything. Today, the chief, let's say the chief of villages in hill area, today they say that they are minority, but today how come the chief become increasing more than 1,000? How come their chief they keep on increasing? They say that a chief should be only one. When the so-called the chief is died, only one particular son will occupy the chief status. But no, whatever the land if I'm a rich person, if I'm a cookie, if I buy a land, then in that land, if I if I invite few people, like let's say 2-3 houses, if I set up, that person automatically become a chief. Is it fair? Is it fair? Yeah. It's not fair. This chief system, I know there is lots of pure chief are there, I wouldn't deny that, but there are a lot of chief which have been set up. This should be looked into it. How can a common people like me will go and check that? It's the central who should look into this. And how come the foreigner, they came and then they settle? And some of the pure cookies, they are ready to implement this NRC, and as well as they are happily accepting the ILP or so-called all this. But why they are again silent? It's all because of the terrorists. They are they are disturbing. Before, we used to go to their houses, we eat together, they come to our houses, we eat together, we enjoy everything.
But then Naima, you just told that it is these very people who are showing them your homes. I mean, how would they know where Meitei lives, for example?
That's what. See, suppose if I wanted to go and attack one particular area, then the person should know, right? The locality. In Imphal, it's like that. Nobody, one colony to another, they don't cross each other. Whatever their neighbors, whoever neighbor, they are doing like that. But not unlike this in Churchandpur, they come in a group, like we don't even haven't seen their face. They came, and then the one who are staying near our places, they started banging the electric poles and inviting our neighboring colonies to come out and join this mob burning. So this is very clear that they all are involved, and it is forcing. They are forced. It's not that their willingness. It's been forced. It's been forced by the terrorists. So please, what I would argue is nothing but to take action against this terrorism in Manipur. If we want peace, then we have to be against this terrorism. The cookies will never come up. I'm telling you, they will still say that they are doing the right way. They are defending their village. No, It's
Yeah.
big no. Yes, they are defending, but we also have the right to go and live there, and they don't need that. Until today, the Meitei doesn't go and disturb their hill. When we go, it's only for planting the trees, and then just for worship. It's not about going and settling there. It's all about against the immigrants who are
Yeah.
inflected by the Myanmar and Bangladesh. We have seen that, and they know that, but they will never accept. They just want their population growth,
Yeah.
their population to grow, and they want their independent countryship,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
stateship. It's
Yeah.
a
Independent.
country. They want, they wanted to form a country. It's not a state. Now today they are asking for state, but tomorrow, remember, tomorrow they will ask for a countryship. This is for sure. And frankly
Uh,
speaking, today I wanted to shout, they can change their color in any form. Let's say the
yeah.
Mar people today, they can convert to cookie. The Paite, they can convert to cookie. The Mizo, they can come into cookie. Why? Because they know that if they stand together, they will get their countryship. So it's only because of that. And their backups are all the politicians as well as the terrorists who are already covered by the politics. They are all together. So we, the minority who doesn't have terrorism, they are trying to create another terrorist in Meitei. So please, the state force should take action immediately, or
Right.
else the Meitei minority definitely one day will start forming another terrorist. And it's if we there
Yeah.
should not be a
Yeah.
game, please.
Yeah, Laima, that's very nice. I think Laima has made a very strong point there. The state should step up and secure us. If they don't, they would be creating another terrorist force because we are forced to defend ourselves. So this is a very strong statement that needs to go out to the center, because the center is responsible to ensure that the safety of its own citizens. So that's a very important thing. And Vladimir Adityanath, one very important point. What is the significance of Manipur? It's not just land. I mean, significance of Manipur, and then cookies are now planning a cookie land, where complete cookie land country, where they take some land from, say, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, and even Assam. So this plan, Adityanath, that, and then lastly, I'll just sum it up with the demands of the Métis. So Adityanath, just, and then I'll sum it up. Thank you.
Very simply put, if we try to put it in short, the Cookies living land, or Zelengam, which they are calling, if we look at it, it does not look like an organically developed concept. It looks like something which has been pushed into a community's mind by some foreign forces for their own geopolitical interests. Now, I will answer your second question first, because that will answer the first question automatically. The second question is, what are cookies demanding? Cookies are demanding, Cookie Zalengam is demanding even Naga lands, like lands where there are Naga people there of Manipur. If you go to the Manipur map, and Gayatri ji, if you put the Manipur map, can you put, then I can show it a bit better.
Yeah.
Manipur map, it is almost like a moon. It starts from Ukhrul, and then Tengnopal, then Chandel, and then Churachandpur, and then Feraizal. Like if you see along this Ukhrul area, if you can see Chandel there, so it is almost like a huge slice, like a moon being cut off from the eastern part of Manipur. Currently, they are stuck with demand. But in Zelengam, they are demanding major parts of Bangladesh, Chattogram Hills. Chattogram Hills has no other significant value. It's not a productive region, but it contains a major warm water port, which allows access to Bay of Bengal. So this area they are claiming. Third part, what they are claiming, obviously Mizoram they are claiming. And third, what they are claiming is Burma, the mountain passes of Burma, which opens the road to China and Southeast Asia. So obviously, land is not designed considering the long-term survival or economic viability of people. Absolutely not. Most of it is arid area. So why did they ask such a abrupt geography? It is because by doing this, you do a huge thing. You cut off India totally from Southeast Asia and like form a Pakistan-like barrier in there of hostile people. You cut off our access roads to there. Act East policy, our Act East policy goes through Manipur. So in this case, at least the plan. Now, this violence which has been done, it served one major purpose, that our Act East policy for 5 years is gone down the drain. So a huge national loss for us also, the development and which was happening. So that is why this Manipur thing which you are seeing, this thing, it is a major issue for all of us. And third thing, this what you were asking, what is the importance of Manipur? The importance of Manipur is in historical sense. We have our historical senses from Mahabharata, Chitrangada, Babruvahan, from where the Vishnupriya Manipuris take their links. We have the northeast in Harshabad court. We have the north where the Assam king of Pragjotishpur invites Huensang to visit there. We have Hidimba's kingdom in Dimapur, the famous chess board, so called. So these things we have lots of links. First of all, maybe if you have enough money, you can buy land elsewhere in the world and make a bigger hill station than some of these points or other things. But can you bring your heritage? Can you bring your history? No, that is not possible. So first is historical value, your cultural lineage, your civilizational expertise. This is very important. Second point is that Manipur, if you look at it, it's part of our Act East policy and opens up the routes from where we can access Southeast Asia, from where we can access the Champa Sagar or the South China Sea, and this will allow us to do trade very easily between towards the Pacific Ocean also and those parts. And this will also allow us to compete with China better and counter Chinese influence better. So this has lots of geopolitical interests and lots of foreign agents. That is why it's pumping money to prevent this thing. And finally, the third question I forgot. Can you repeat once? The first two were these.
I think I asked you about the geopolitical importance of Manipur, and then the Kuki land. Kuki land you have well explained. I think these were the main questions. And then the major demands, like I would like to sum up, and then you can just say whether it's right or, I mean, whether I'm covering all the points. Because I'd like to sum up now by saying that the Meitei Hindus face an existential crisis, and their demands are as follows. Scheduled tribe status for Meiteis, we have gone enough why it is needed. Then scrapping of suspension of operation against Kuki terrorists who have declared literally a civil war against the Meiteis. Then third is the immediate NRC to identify the massive number of illegal immigrants systematically settled in Manipur over decades. Then we go over to the fourth point, that is reformation, as we discussed earlier, reformation of the 1960 Manipur Land Act, which now has placed Meiteis in a very discriminatory manner, where they are reduced to a paltry 10% of the area, and 90% of the area they cannot buy land or settle there. So this needs to be rectified. Then the demand is to bring peace to Manipur and stop targeted ethnic cleansing of Meiteis by Kuki Christian terrorists. So, and then of course the refugees need to be protected, and they're penniless. I mean, they've lost their land also. They've lost their houses also. So a mere 2 lakh rupees is not, as the central government has announced, is hardly anything when you have the other side, which is literally backed by the drug mafia and the church. So they need to be supported, and the Meitei victims need to be supported. So then we come to the most important other point, that to stop narco terrorism. Of course, the Biren Singh government has taken some actions to curb this illegal poppy cultivation in reserve forest areas and protected forest areas, because this narco terrorism literally can create a parallel economy, and it funds crimes and it funds even terrorism, as we just saw. And in fact, it has the capability of literally running a small state. I mean, all the northeastern states also, perhaps, they can secede and they can run their own lands just by the drug money. So here we kind of wrap up the whole session. Thanks a lot, Adityanath, for this wonderful analysis. And thank you so much,
Yeah, can I add
victims.
one? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So this regarding the influx of this refugee, they, today they are coming and settling in Churchandpur. So in every part of the Manipur, I would say, even in More, they started settling. Before, their influx have been started in Manipur, there was no such plantation like poppy plantation happened. They were all, cultivating with vegetables, and then they are the one to bring out all the organic food which we are eating today, I mean, on that time. But today it's becoming lesser. If someone frank, like openly, they started telling us, "Ki, come, let's go and see this poppy cultivation place, that poppy flowers, let's go and see." So even the ministers are taking the cookie lady. She herself is also a minister, but still she is taking a picture in front, right in front
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
poppy
yeah.
plant. So it's
Yeah,
very,
I think,
she is the VVIP, but she can go and then visit the place. So this is already very, openly done by the cookies, that cultivation of poppy is, it's not illegal anymore. It's they have the right. It's something they claiming like that. So today, even the reserve
this
lane
lady.
which we are having in the valley area of Manipur, for them, they said, when the, the demarcation happened, and then when the demolish happened in that in the valley, they were so happy. But in the reserve land, a forest which was, conducted in the check while checking the reserve forest, I mean, reserve area, reserve land in the hidden hill part of Manipur.
Yeah,
Why today the cookies are against?
yeah,
Why they are against?
absolutely.
Why they are telling that there is no reserve forest?
Absolutely. I
So
agree
this
with
is
you.
very
And
wrong. They are being, the Myanmar people, they are coming inside, and then they are motivating the cookies who are, peace loving people. They have been motivated with the, what to say, the black money which comes in poppy plantation is being motivated by them. So today we can't break that motivation from them. We can't break. So today they are against us, against the ministers who are playing a big role to save the land, because all they want is to have a huge economy, to be very powerful in the economy, and to become more powerful with weapons, and to build up a cookie land. And also, not only cookie land, some community among them, among the cookies who are now called the cookies, even among them today, they are asking for, and before also they have asked for Zaugam is, as Jaugam land is asked by the Paite people, telling that Churchandpur should be Zaugam, ya fir Lamka. So they wanted land, they wanted statehood, they wanted their own country. So even the starting of this crisis, the cookie, they don't say cookie land. Okay, they started naming as Greater
Homeland.
Mizoram. Why?
Okay.
Because they need help from Mizoram, and Mizoram is very welcome. The Mizoram minister will warmly welcome, because thinking that they, from them only, the poppy plantation can be grown widely. So thinking that, and thinking the countryship they have been dreaming of, it's their aim, it's their dream to form a country. So even the Mizoram, they have welcome. It's not about love. It's not about love for the community of cookies. It's not about the love of the tribals who are in Churchandpur. It's only because of the greediness of the land, which are reserved forests turning into poppy cultivating area. So it's only because of the greediness of such land. So
Yeah.
when such action has been taken up, the cookies, they need
Yeah.
resource. They need resource for all that. So what they did was, they take open help, they take open shout, they come up and they started shouting to the
Yeah.
Mizoram, thanking them to send their resource. But this
Yeah.
is very wrong. They have been motivating the cookies to bring out the land. But among the community also, there is no equality, there is no unity. I would like to say this: there is no equality. It's just that it's just a temporary, just to get their the stateship. But no, even the Paite, they want to be Jogam, they want to call the state to be Zogam Lamka, or this cookie they want to call as cookie land. But this is, they are fighting inside. Now they did not mention Greater Mizoram, but why Cookie Land? Because they know that if they go to Greater Mizoram, there will be another problem again. So now they started asking for Cookie Land. Now they have removed the idea of Greater Mizoram, because Greater Mizoram will not last. They know that. So it's just seeking, just playing with your dirty politics inside, that they wanted to take the name of Mizoram. It's not so. Even the Mizoram is helping the refugee. It's only because they want. It's politically, if I would say, they wanted their vote counts to be more, and if I take it in a civil way, they wanted their population to increase, and they wanted their people to come as one. But
Yeah.
they are foreigner, they just know
Yeah.
Mizo language. They are not Mizo, they are
Yeah.
Chin, they are
Yes.
Zhou. And
Yes,
then
Leila ji.
even, yes, and even
We
in
are running
the
short of time. We are beyond
sorry
2 hours 20 minutes.
Haji,
I'll
Haji.
call you
And
again in some other program too. So
yes,
yes.
if Gayatri ji, I would like to mention this as well. Today the cookies are calling the Meiteis as thief. This is very wrong, I would say, because they are, the, let's say, the 500 or 600 houses in Imphal have been looted and burned down. I accept that, but the houses in the hill area that are not burned today, it's turned into ashes. How come? They looted right in front of the forces, and there is not even a stone remain in my own house. Not even a single house today is not a house anymore. It's already in a ground level, zero ground. So
Yeah.
I would like to ask the cookie people, who is the thief? Who is
Yeah.
to be called thief? This is my
I
big question. Today they will keep on pointing us that we Meitei are thief. But sorry, my dear cookies, only 500 houses have been burned and affected, and the house is still standing. But the Meitei house, more than 2,000, 3,000 houses in the hill area today, there is no more houses. And apart from houses, even the shops, which are
yeah.
1,000 shops, are being looted, which the shop is the shop place area is owned by, whether it is owned by Meitei or Cookie, it's been looted. The shops are zero, nothing is there. Even the electronic shop, it's are in zero. So today I would like to ask the cookie friend,
Yeah.
please tell me, who is the thief today? Who is the
Yes.
thief? Is it
Yes.
we who is keeping your house as a standing, or the house in zero is calling thief?
Yes,
And also,
Lalma ji, that's a
and Gayatri
very,
ji,
very
thank you so much.
emotional.
I,
Yeah.
I would like to ask this to the central as well. We don't want food. There Modi ji. I don't like food. Please, I don't like food. I don't like our clothes. But we the Meitei, we can stand up again. But we don't want such. But we want peace in our small state. It's very small. We want peace. So please bring peace. Peace doesn't mean that we should bring silence to everyone. It's not like that. We want free terrorism in Manipur, please. This is a voice of Kuki as well as the Meitei and all the minorities, tribal. They want peace. We will get peace only when terrorism is free from our state. Please do this. The forces are the most powerful from comparing to all the countries.
Yeah.
So this is the high time to remove the terrorism in Manipur. I can't go back to my home anymore because let's say
Yes.
if I happen to go home tomorrow,
Yes,
my
Lalma
home
ji.
is going to burn down. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much. And with
Ma'am,
this, yeah, yeah,
hello.
yes,
Ma'am, I
yeah,
would like to add something on that what sister is saying. मैम
yeah,
अभी का
please.
हम लोग का मेन डिमांड ये है कि अभी टाइम भी खत्म होने वाला है पर मैं अपना पॉइंट कुछ रखना चाहूंगी। अभी मणिपुर में सू रिमूव करना बहुत जरूरी है और उसके बाद में
Yes,
एनआरसी भी कंडक्ट करना चाहिए और उसके
correct.
बाद में सेपरेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं होना चाहिए। अगर सेपरेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन चाहिए तो हम लोग पहले एनआरसी अप्रूव करना चाहिए तो उसके बाद तो वो लोग इमिग्रेंट नहीं है वो लोग प्रूव करके वो लोग सेपरेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन मिल सकते हैं। दिस इज कंपलसरी पर फर्स्ट वी नीड एनआरसी। एनआरसी मिलने के बाद तो वो लोग भी तो हम लोग इमिग्रेंट नहीं करते वो लोग प्रूव करने के बाद वो लोग ऑब्वियसली मिलेगा। और मैं वो सब तो हम सब ये सब डिमांड कर रहे हैं पर बिसाइड दैट आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड समथिंग। अभी मणिपुर में 50 डेज के ऊपर इंटरनेट बंद है। उसी वजह से अभी जो मणिपुर के बाहर में पड़ते हैं वो लोग कितना प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हैं। फाइनेंशियली बहुत प्रॉब्लम फेस कर रहे हैं क्योंकि इंटरनेट बैन की वजह से हम लोग पैसा भी ट्रांसफर नहीं कर पा रहे हैं और उसके बाद में अभी जो 12th खत्म हुआ रिसेंटली एग्जाम रिजल्ट आउट हुआ है और वो लोग का अभी न्यू एडमिशन नहीं कर पा रहा है क्योंकि अभी मणिपुर में इंटरनेट बैन है तो कहीं कहीं पे वो लोग एंट्रेंस एग्जाम नहीं दे पा रहे हैं उसके बाद में एडमिशन नहीं कर पा रहे हैं क्योंकि हम लोग ये प्रॉब्लम में भी हम लोग अपना फ्यूचर भी तो सिक्योर करना चाहिए ना मैम। वी नीड टू सिक्योर आवर फ्यूचर ओनली वी कैन because of this we cannot just destroy the student life because it's very important for our future only because अभी दूसरे जगह में तो कोई अंडरस्टैंड तो नहीं करेगा कि मणिपुर में इंटरनेट बैन हुआ था उसी वजह से मैं एडमिशन नहीं कर पाया मैं एडमिशन कर सकती हूँ वो उस कॉलेज में एक्सेप्ट करेगा बट बड़ा बड़ा यूनिवर्सिटी में तो ये बिल्कुल भी नहीं करेगा। और ये पढ़ाई के बारे में ये पहले कोविड टाइम में भी फेस किया था उस टाइम पे सब ऑनलाइन कंडक्ट किया था पर इस बार अभी तो ऑनलाइन ही बंद है तो ऑनलाइन भी नहीं हो रहा है। उसके बाद में अभी स्टूडेंट सब पढ़ाई नहीं कर पा रहे और उसके बाद में एक और पॉइंट है कि जो रिलीफ कैम्प है वो लोग कितना दिन और रिलीफ कैम्प में रहेगा। वो लोग रिलीफ कैम्प में वो लोग खाना वो सब मिल रहा है वो लोग कपड़ा एक दो कपड़ा में वो लोग कितना महीना उधर में गुजारेगा। हाउ मेनी डेज दे आर गोइंग टू वेयर ओनली 2-3 days 2-3 ड्रेसेस एंड आफ्टर दिस हाउ मेनी देश पीपल विल हैव क्योंकि अभी मणिपुर में काम भी नहीं कर सकती कोई भी जॉब वो सब भी नहीं जा सकती तो जो हेल्प करे वो लोग भी तो जरूरत है ना मैम वो लोग अभी तो खत्म होते जाएगा ना इसलिए वो भी बहुत जरूरी है। और उसके बाद में गवर्नमेंट ने बोला है कि 2 लाख देगा जो जिसका घर जल गया 2 लाख में जो 2 लाख देगा उसमें वो लोग एक घर बना के देगा जो 2 लाख है उसमें हम लोग का फ्यूचर सिक्योर होगा। हम लोग अपना जो मोड़े पे है कहीं कहीं जगह पे जहाँ पे बिजनेस करता है वो लोग अपने लाइफ 2 लाख से स्टार्ट कर पाएगा क्योंकि वो 2 लाख से तो घर का सामान खरीदने में ही खत्म हो जाएगा। और उसके बाद में जिसका 2-3 बच्चा है जो पढ़ाई कर रहा है उसका कॉलेज फीस कौन देगा। इसलिए गवर्नमेंट सोचना चाहिए कि वो लोग बोलने से पहले कितना करना है वो लोग सोच के बोलना चाहिए क्योंकि मणिपुर का अभी प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज्यादा है पर बहुत लोग चुप है। अभी भी गवर्नमेंट अभी भी साइलेंट है मोदी जी अभी भी साइलेंट है। वो क्यों साइलेंट है जब उसको इलेक्शन टाइम में था वो तो इतनी बार तो मणिपुर में आया इस बार अभी इतना जल रहा है तो वो यूएसए में जाके उधर पे बैठा है मणिपुर में एक बार भी नहीं आया। और उसके बाद में मणिपुर में अमित शाह आया था 2 दिन 3 दिन आया था, उधर पे अभी भी अमित शाह आने के बाद भी अभी भी अंडर कंट्रोल नहीं है, अभी भी कंटिन्यू है। उसने बोला था वो 10 दिन के बाद आएगा, वो क्यों नहीं आया फिर? वो क्यों उधर पे आके वो एक भी चीज संभाल के क्यों नहीं गया? वो सिर्फ आई विल कम विजिट आफ्टर 10 days, बट व्हाई ही स्टिल नॉट कमिंग इन मणिपुर?
Yeah, I completely understand your points, and I completely agree with you that the 2 lakhs that they offer is completely not enough. And then you have your studies. Students, young students have studies to pursue, which is quite difficult in such situations. So situation needs to be brought under control very soon. And it's quite fair on your part to emotionally ask the Prime Minister and the Home Minister for more seriousness to address this issue very soon. I mean, the more we lose time, the more we are losing people, land, and violence, and more of depredation. So it's only very right that you said that. So I think with this, we'll wrap up.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Nang Thoiji, you want to say
Okay.
something?
To
Yeah.
conclude, yes.
2 minutes, please.
To conclude, I want to ask the question, like,
Yeah.
yes, like that. Who are the real victims? जो अभी इम्फाल वैली में अभी भी कुकी लोग है, and it's more than 50 days, but cookies are still living in Imphal. But there are no Meiteis in Churachandpur, and no houses of Meiteis are there in Churachandpur. All the houses are not only burned down, but now not even a single brick is standing there. But if you go and see in Imphal, some of the houses are left unburned, unlooted, and many cookies are still living in Imphal. So cookies are claiming that they are the victims and that they are scared of the Meitei people and they don't want to live with the Meiteis. Then why are they still living in Imphal? And why is that they still feel safe in Imphal? If they don't feel safe in Imphal, why are they in Imphal right now? They should leave immediately if they don't feel safe in Imphal. So we can see from this that who is the peace-loving community? Is it the cookies or is it the Meiteis? No Meiteis are living in Churachandpur and in other hill districts right now, but many cookies are still living in Imphal areas. So we can see who are the real victims and who are faking to be the victims here. And I would also like to point out that that the person who was holding AK-47 in the rally, his video was viral. His face was also shown in the video. But why is that the action is not taken against him? Why is it the central forces and the state forces are quiet? Why is it that he's not arrested? Even if he is from the Sioux militants, he should be arrested because I think according to the rules of the Sioux militancy, he can't roam around with AK-47 rifle in the rally.
Absolutely.
So I think and we can also see that whose community is promoting peace right now. You will never see a cookie community talking about peace in their rally or anywhere. You will see only Meitei people talking about peace in their rallies and everywhere. All our influencers as well as our MLAs are talking about peace, but none of their leaders are talking about peace. So we can see who is the peace-loving community and who are not. Who are the real victims and who are not. It's all clear. So we should not confuse, and they should not play a victim card here, because we can see what they have done to Churachandpur. Why media is not allowed in Churachandpur even now. Only selected medias whom they have bought can come to Churachandpur, and no other medias can go to Churachandpur and show us what the real conditions, what happened to the temples of the Meiteis. Only one temple is not burned because that temple does not belong to a Meitei community. It belongs to a Marwari community, and it is there in the lighthouse area. Only that temple, that single temple, is not burned down because that does not belong to a Meitei community, but it belongs to a Marwari community living in Churachandpur. And they have shown a video footage of only that temple, and they have shown us that they didn't harm any Hindu temples. Then why not show us the Jagannath temple in Mandop Lekai? They should show us that. They should show us the Sanamahi temples in Kumujamba, in Zobing areas. So they didn't show us all these videos, but they show us only one video of the Malwari temple, that they haven't
Even
harmed
that
any Hindu
even that
temples
they
there.
would get rid of. Not that it's going to stand forever. I mean, the moment all the moment all Métis are removed from that, even they would get rid of the Marwadi temple also, and even the Marwadis. So it's not as though it's going to stay there forever.
Of course, even right now they are demanding. Even right now they are demanding money from the Marwaris and Biharis who own shops in Churachandpur, to buy arms, to fund their Sioux militants, to attack the Métis. So it's clear who are the victims and who are not, who are terrorists and who are not.
Okay.
So this is what I want to say. And thank you, ma'am, for providing us this opportunity. Thank you, Vladimir, sir.
Vladimir, I don't know, perhaps we lost here. We got him again.
And
Okay,
Gayatri ji, if I can, one point, please.
Please, we are running very short of time, Laima.
Thank you.
Yes. Some other time, because it's nearly 2.5 hours. So please, we need to wrap it up. Okay. And I think we have majorly covered. We'll do this session even more. I promise you, we'll keep at it. We'll keep doing this even more, because we are going to now later tackle about one more issue, important issue, that is of the Assam Rifles, the role of Assam Rifles. So
that is, yes, I would like to ask this regarding that. See, the central is paying the Sioux militant, right? But I'm confused now. All the public is confused now whether the central is paying to the Sioux or the Sioux party is paying to the central government. This is my question. And not only me, to all I feel like laughing in one way, because over there even the central force are watching what the militants are doing. So obviously the question is whether the poppy planters, they are so much with bundles and money, they are very rich, that they are even overcoming to the power of central. So whether the forces is paid by the Sioux, or this is my big question.
It's a very dark and a gloomy situation.
Yeah. So this is the only question that I have. Other than that, thank you so much.
But it is very telling. I can understand that, being in your situation, because there is no action on them, because the violence is not yet subsided. So you are very much, welcome to.
Yeah, and the action is taken only to the Métis, because we don't have money to pay to the center or to the Sioux or whoever it is. We are very poor, that we don't have enough money to even give a lavish life to them. But for them, they are giving all that. So I'm a bit confused, and I'm raising this question on the behalf of all the public. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Gayatri ji, for giving us this platform. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Laima. Thank you, Nangthoi. Thanks a lot, Thoibi. And thanks a lot to Vladimir Adityanath for taking up this cause very on a award footing. Thank you very much, Adityanath, for this and your lovely analysis. So hope to see you again soon. Regarding, with another analysis on the Assam Rifles, and later the drug mafia, or the drug mafia there, right? So how it runs, and what are the political angles involved, and how is the church possibly involved, and all that. So we'll tackle that later. So thanks a lot. Namaste. And with this we end, and now it is a appeal to the central government to take up the cause of Métis very strongly. I also appeal to the larger Hindu community in rest of India that you need to come out in support of Métis Hindus. If you don't, then it will be you at your doorstep, wherever you are. You could be sitting in Chennai, you could be sitting in Delhi, you could be sitting somewhere else. It's always, if it's cookies there, it is jihadis at your place. So better be careful, and please appeal to the center to adhere to the demands made by the Métis, which are very reasonable. At least scrap all scheduled tribe status to rest of the communities, or you give it to the Métis too. And more importantly, the soap should be scrapped, and there should be action on these cookie militants, and peace should be brought in, and NRC should be done. So with this, we close this session. It was a very fruitful session. Namaste.
Thank you, Gayatri ji. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Namaste.
Thank you, Vladimir ji.
Thank you. Here, I'm ending it. Namaste.